All right, bet. Episode 116, we are back to Show About Nothing. Back in the studio, back with a special guest, post GNX. Got a lot to cover, draft, playoffs, Kendrick. But let's just quick intro. Stop, like, comment, subscribe, send it to a friend, send it to an enemy, send it to somebody you like, send it to somebody you hate, ruin their day. Go ahead, talk to him.
What's happening, y'all? What's happening? Episode 116 of the Show About Nothing. Welcome back. It's a blessing to be here, honored to be here. As I always say, I love this shit, man. Sorry, YouTube. I love it, though. I love it, man. I'm so excited to talk. I had a good month, had a little good week. I hit quota this week, so commission check finna come in next week.
Hey,
not next week, on the 21st. Feeling good. Took a few days off at the top of the month because I can afford it now. Me and Shawty anniversary on Friday, so I'm really trying not to work. But I was like, I want to be off work, but I want to pod real bad. Yeah. I've been waiting to do this all day. I've been waiting to argue with Stunna all day. We gonna get into it, man. A lot happened. Yeah. Obviously, this is Stunna. If y'all don't know, I'm done letting people introduce themselves because they come on here and think they can talk all low and cool like they not on TV. Yeah, they be like, yeah, I'm Stunna, man. What's up? You not around no hoes, bro. Like no hoes is watching this. The title says Shedeur Sanders. Not one hoe.
No hoes in the room either. No hoes in the room either. I can't confirm.
So come on, man. But this is Stunna. I partner. Atlanta Falcons on. UGA Bulldogs on. Atlanta Braves on. Atlanta Hawks on. You feel me? The realest nigga I know. Actually, that's not true. I'm the realest nigga I know.
Top five.
I give it that for sure. Real dog. Clap it up for Stunna, though. Clap it up for Stunna. You feel me? All right. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
You know what I want to start with?
Rod Wave.
Whoa.
We can always start. We can always start.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying? We can. Well, you know, since we started there.
Before you get too far. So last night.
No. Let's go too far. Before we even jump into the sports talk, because you know we're gonna do that. I saw a Mount Rushmore of the 4 R&B artists. Who do y'all think should be on there?
That's a good one to start.
That's a good one to start with. I ain't gonna cut. All right, 4 is male. I'm going.
Yeah, it was all male. It was all male.
You can't do both. It's impossible. Male, Usher, Chris Brown.
The Weeknd.
Let me preface something. Michael Jackson, Prince, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye. That is soul music. It's a funk. It's a pop. It's not R&B music. I understand Michael Jackson's Invincible album is a R&B album and one of the greatest male R&B albums ever. Right. One of the greatest albums, period, just to be honest. But that, I'm not putting them in this conversation. So again, Usher, Chris Brown. I'm gonna go Tank.
Does Bobby Brown get a mention?
I'm going to go Tank, and I'm going to go...
You throw Bobby in here?
I think I'm going The Weeknd.
How do you leave out the greatest R&B singer of all time?
Who?
Because he's in jail, and I'm not saying his name on the show.
We can't say his name.
It's been 6 minutes,
We got to get the first 10 minutes. Yeah.
I thought you was about to talk about Rod Wave. I was giving you the light to say that, dumbass shit. I was finna argue with you and everything.
Yeah.
But you can't bring up him 6 minutes into the show, bro.
But you left both names off, though.
I would say this to give you credit. If we can't have Mike on the list, we can't have him on the list either.
We have to. He's the Pied Piper of R&B.
Yeah, but he's still, I feel like once you get to a certain level, I'm not putting him on the regular Mount.
But that's like saying
he shouldn't be next to Chris. No disrespect, he should be next to Chris Brown on that Mount Rushmore.
Why not?
Because Chris Brown shouldn't be on it either.
You are crazy.
I think he should, but still,
Chris Brown got 2 good albums.
That's not true. You gotta stop saying that.
Chris Brown has 2 good bodies of work.
You have to stop saying that.
What are the 2?
The first 2.
You gotta stop saying that. You gotta stop saying that.
Chris Brown has not put out a good.
Has so many good.
Chris Brown has not put out a good project in at least
Chris Brown's last album just won a Grammy. Dog. Be quiet.
When was the Pied Piper last good album? My fault.
He has more than 2 though.
That's good. All right.
He has more than 2. He in jail.
Who made Deuces?
He ain't dropped it. What you call him? That he ain't dropped a good album since Stunna was indicted.
That's not true.
Bro, want to get on here?
That's not true.
And talk about how he on the Mount Rushmore.
That's not true. That's not
true.
Let
that boy stay in jail.
Did y'all not hear I'm a flirt? You know what I'm saying? Have you ever? You know what I'm saying?
It's 3 of them I'll still play. Yeah. It's this I'm a flirt, Step in the Name of Love. That's it. I like.
And the remix with Mission.
I'll step. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I feel comfortable.
I'm not playing feeling on your booty.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Because I feel like this is a good conversation to have. Because I wanted to talk about this J. Cole song I listened to earlier. But I feel like how you're introduced to music is going to affect how you like it.
That's true.
So I was introduced to the Pied Piper through the Boondocks. So I wasn't, like, my parents wasn't listening to the Pied Piper. So I found out about R. Kelly through the other bag. Like, I really didn't.
See, Step in the Name of Love was literally played at every family function of mine. So I knew who R. Kelly was. Like,
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I knew the song. I didn't know who he was. Like, he was just like, especially when we were younger, like, he was just music we heard. So once I kind of put two and two together, I was like, man, I really like I Believe I Can Fly. But, like, this guy's insane.
I was definitely introduced to him before I Believe I Can Fly.
I think
Space Jam. Space Jam was my first introduction to R. Kelly.
Oh, yeah, I ain't know nothing. All I knew from Space Jam was Mike and Louis.
All right, never mind, bro. Move. Hey, what's Kobe Bryant? Let's talk about Kobe Bryant. Okay, let's talk about something.
Let's go from one. Let's go from one.
7 minutes in, and he's singing.
Let's go from one superstar to another one.
Y'all have never had none of y'all had to confess?
No. Listen, I have nothing to. Listen, legally, we have nothing to confess.
I got some things
Not
to confess.
one thing, twin.
But
I got some things to confess.
Real quick, have y'all heard his song on the Rich Game album with Wayne Birdman? No. Okay, cool.
Nah, I ain't heard
All
that.
right.
What if I told you there's a version of Flashing Lights with? Never mind. Okay. So, there is, by the way. But
Oh yeah, Ish, I got a question to ask you. I don't know if it's suitable for the. It's definitely not suitable for the first 10 minutes.
Okay, let's hold it.
if it's about the nigga who made Flashing Lights, it's not.
Let's hold it. Let's hold that to next show.
But look, perfect to the point. If you're introduced to the music first, I feel like it's easier to be like, man.
I don't know.
You heard that, seen that Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, like he was wrong. Like, is he wrong? Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Because I remember one time in the group chat, long time ago, you said you would vote for this individual for president of the United States.
Listen, that's like 40 whippets before. Like it's crazy. It's so funny you said this because I have a tweet from I think the first meltdown. I'm trying to go through like the public Kanye meltdowns, but it was like the first really bad one. And I was like, yo, Kanye can say whatever he wants.
Yeah, I remember that.
Somebody liked it like a couple days, and I was like, man, I should delete that. Like, it's crazy how we thought that was as bad.
Yeah,
as
that was like as worse as it was possible.
Yeah.
Boy,
Listen.
all right.
But
To the superstar.
what we really actually wanted to start with, first, I want to say thank you to the subscribers, listeners, almost 1,800. And we was at the Kendrick show. Floor seats, beautiful. Had
Please
an
subscribe.
amazing
I'm begging
time.
you. Please subscribe.
My voice is, like, as y'all can hear, it's still kind of cooked. We are tired, but amazing performance. Something I'll probably never forget. Of course, as Stunna knows, King Vamp was in attendance. Special guest for the Kendrick show.
Why would I know that? Oh, listen.
Damn, go ahead and talk to him about it a little bit, how you felt about it.
All right. We have Nelson, who was at the show, coming on next week, so we're saving our full 25, 30-minute breakdown of the show for that. But I do want to mention that, Kendrick is just, Lord have mercy, dog. Like,
That's the GOAT.
I know that was crazy. Pause. That was crazy. That was nuts. I shouldn't have started.
You saw Stunna Twitch?
I saw Stunna look at me and I was like, that's a real nigga. I should adjust.
I wasn't gonna say that because we on camera. I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna let you make it. But Lord have mercy, it's crazy.
That's crazy. But that show was incredible, man. Kendrick's artistry stood out from the beginning. The show, how it looks, how it felt, the energy, the outfits, the dancers, everything matched, everything looked intentional, which is what I love about art, is art with intent. But I'm a rap nerd. I love performances. I love rap. That boy rapped for 90 straight minutes.
Yeah, like that shit is crazy.
He didn't play one verse through the backtrack. Nope. Not one. He rapped Euphoria for 6.5 minutes, bruh.
Problem.
Every single word.
Crazy, bro.
Man of the Garden, every single word. Reincarnated, every single word. He's tripping. Like, it is artistry, it is performance at its finest, at the umpteenth degree. Right. If you want to see a GOAT in the making, a young GOAT in the making, do something special, do something you may never witness again, you have to find a way to get to that show. Now, there's another superstar on the stage with him.
Yeah.
Miss SZA.
And that's, But listen, hey. And SZA fans in attendance.
Shawty.
Listen,
Shawty.
sounded like Coachella.
What we talking about?
Sounded
What we
like
talking
Coachella
about? And she signed Charlene's cast at the beginning, so shout out to that.
fire.
Shout out to that. That's just real fan. Prayed over and everything. Shout out to that.
Shout out to Charlene as well.
And then she had a meet and greet. They had a meet and greet at the beginning. If y'all don't know, that she does her brand and she pops out for 30 minutes, and she signed Charlene's cast. That was amazing. But to the show. The visuals with SZA and the stage presence and the choreography, the animatronics, it was all, again, intentional, beautiful, seamless. You can tell she rehearsed this. You can tell she loves what she's doing on that stage. And I see the TikToks, I see the tweets about the mic don't be on, she can't sing, she a bad performer. I'm here to tell you you're wrong. If you think that you're wrong. It's not about we have a difference in opinion. I'm right and you're wrong.
1,000%.
It's that, okay?
She was singing.
She was singing.
She
with
sounded
the A.
great.
With two A's. With two A's, two N's and a G.
Great.
She was singing, shawty. Like,
Look great, too.
What are we talking about?
Ooh.
What we talking about?
Listen.
She came out in them big old jeans in the beginning. And I said, hell no, that's right. I said I ain't come here. I ain't get all close for that shit. Stunna. She came out in some big old jeans. I'm talking about you couldn't see no curves, son. And some Timbs.
Nah.
Okay.
I said, if
That's
you
not
don't
why
go
we
to
on
the
the
back,
floor. That's not why we on the floor.
she said I got you though.
Yeah.
She said I got you.
She got you, bro.
She came back out of some. She said shorts.
Yeah.
She said booty shorts. Okay. Oh, that's what she said, Stunna. I'm telling you what it is.
She said it to him. I mean,
Like I'm telling you what it is. And she was incredible. Every song was incredible. She sung everything. Still performed Rich Baby Daddy. Shout out to Drake. You know, that's a flex though. Like
I love that.
Like still performing Rich
especially
Baby Daddy.
SZA.
Like,
Especially SZA.
bro, like just happy as hell. Turned the show up, had the women in there singing their hearts out. It was a perfect show. No notes, nothing left to give. I think they performed probably like 80 songs between the two of them.
It was a solid 3 hours.
A solid 3 hour set.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. But the last thing I have to say, my favorite part of the show, Kendrick does a reprise of Mad City.
Yeah.
And it might be the craziest shit I've ever heard in my
Anita
entire
Baker,
life.
Sweet Love.
With Anita Baker, Sweet Love. He rapped over my nigga. My nigga. Like, if you go find that on the internet and listen to it if you can't get to the show. Yeah. That shit is ridiculous. And then after that, he performs Money Trees. I almost cried during that because that's one of my favorite rap songs ever. But Kendrick Lamar, SZA, thank you.
Let me ask one more because we're just doing this for a quick hit. One more thing, Cardi.
Hey, look, bro.
Because listen, one more thing about this show. We love Atlanta. This is the only show Cardi's going to be at. It's the only show he has been at. It's perfect because it's our city. So how did you feel about Cardi coming up?
I had no idea what was going on. I'm not gonna lie. I heard someone scream in the mic, and I said, "Oh my God, Kendrick got attacked." I was like, I don't know how in this big ass stadium somebody got on that stage, but that nigga just got attacked, and then it happened again, and I was like, somebody would have got to him by now.
Yeah.
And then the nigga was like,
right?
and then I heard good credit, and I was like, I think that's Cardi's song. And then Cardi comes out, and I immediately was like, I do see the aura. I do.
So the aura was indeed visible.
This is a mess. Like, this sounds ridiculous. That Kendrick verse is crazy. Again, something he rapped, no backtrack, just ridiculous. But Kendrick verse is crazy. But the song, the noise, the screaming was all ridiculous.
Yeah.
But two things. The aura, I saw. I will get into that next week when Stunna not here. Two,
Stunna the aura, please.
No, man.
I can understand how if it's 40,000 people in the arena and he get to doing that, it sounds like it's supposed to sound.
That shit sounded crazy.
And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
I got a question to ask.
Go ahead.
So while you was talking about Kendrick, you said a young GOAT in the making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how old is Kendrick?
He's about to be 35.
Yeah, 30, somewhere between 34 and 37.
He up there.
Your GOAT is Lil Wayne, right?
Yeah.
Okay. At what point would you say Lil Wayne stopped making elite music? Like, I know he's still your favorite rapper at least. I don't know about you.
I feel like Carter 4. I feel like Carter 4 is the end of elite album Wayne.
Kendrick is 37.
So is it time to put Kendrick in those type conversations then? Because he's been in the game long enough.
I agree. I do. I said they argued with me. I think a couple of months ago. I don't think Kendrick has a peer rapping right now. I don't think Kendrick has anybody that's on his same trajectory. Like the same way, I don't think Jokic has many peers. Like I don't think anyone is playing the same game.
It was nobody fucking with him.
Like Kendrick is chasing. Like I might be the GOAT. I don't think any other rapper is still doing that right now.
You say Drake is.
No, I think that's closed book.
I think it's over.
Oh yeah.
So with the Wayne point, the last great album he made was the Free Weezy album in 2015. A lot of people didn't hear that album in its entirety because it released.
That album
is
amazing.
Motherfucker. The original album, not the shit that's on Apple Music. You gotta. It's the original album that was like 12 songs.
Listen, that
with the
original
James
Glory?
Brown sample, with the original Glory, with the Anita Baker sample at the end. Like it's that is his last great album, and that's if you heard that album at its beginning, you know that's a great album. So I understand why it's just a Carter 4, though. I'm not mad at that answer.
It's time to be alive, man. That's crazy.
Man, what? But when we're talking Wayne, we do have to talk mixtapes.
Yeah,
the last great mixtape he made was Sorry for the Wait 2, which came out 2 years after the Carter 4. So 2014 that came out. So 2014, 2015 was the last year of elite project making from Lil Wayne. Yeah. But Lil Wayne still puts out 3 or 4 elite verses every year to let you know can't nobody fuck with him when he care about this. But to your point about Kendrick, yes, he has entered that conversation. Okay. You can make an argument that Kendrick Lamar is the GOAT right now. I don't think it's a strong argument. It has to get stronger with another album, a couple more features, some more historic moments as this past year has been. But the argument has shaped to where it's about 6, 7 guys you can put in that category and have the debate, and he's in that category.
So can y'all give me y'all rap Mount Rushmore then?
Yeah, 1,000%. Because, and I want to talk about the Kendrick Lamar.
I'm talking straight like. Not production as well.
So just rapping.
Yeah, I know who you'll put in there.
Okay, yeah, no. Yeah, so my rap, I'm not going to have him on there. So rap, I'm going to, you got to go Hov.
As a total package as well.
Hold on. Package. I think this is important to say when we start these conversations before y'all start yelling at us. What is the criteria for what you're saying this Mount Rushmore
is?
Lyrical ability.
Right.
Influence.
Okay.
Aura.
Okay. I like that.
I think those are the 3.
I think aura coincides with impact.
Yeah. I think those are the 3 big ones that you have to be in the conversation.
I'm gonna go. Fourth one we got to do catalog. I feel like
catalog got to matter too. Catalog got to matter.
So one gotta go Hov. Hov, Godfather rap, omnipresent of rap. Even hasn't been a rapper for 5 years and still is a mainstay image in rap somehow. So Hov, I'm gonna go Mount Rushmore, so no order. Hov, Kendrick. DMX. And I'm going to go 50.
Wayne, Hov, Wayne.
I forgot Wayne. I knew I forgot somebody.
I thought you was doing that to make an argument on the show.
No. Yeah, let me get Wayne over 50.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, bet. Wayne, Hov, Biggie. Wayne, Hov. So... I'm not good at this, Stunna. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you, twin.
It's a name that neither one of y'all has said yet. It's real disrespectful.
It's real hard for me to do this.
No, Tupac. You have to say Tupac.
I
think Tupac. I think when you said Kendrick is like Jordan in '90, I think Tupac is that to rap. I think Tupac has the Michael Jordan type aura, where it's like. That nigga glow. Like
I completely agree with you.
If other rappers would see Tupac today, they'd be like, man, that nigga glowing in real life.
I agree with you, but if Mike retired in '94, would niggas call him the GOAT?
Yes. After that 3-peat, yes. They was already calling him Black Jesus.
And they do the same for Tupac, but it still would be looked at as like, I look at Tupac as incomplete. Same way I look at Biggie. I don't grade Tupac on a full career curve because he never got on a full career.
But Tupac's greatest hits is a double disc. I want everybody to understand.
I agree with that. But if you take this was my example. If Kendrick stopped making music after Damn, his only projects were his first 3, and they were all 3 of the greatest rap. You could do the same for Tupac, but you gotta allow artists to finish their careers out because a lot of artists' best work is early on.
Right.
Is their first couple albums. Like Tupac never had time to progress into what he was going to finish as.
And it is something to say about surviving the fall off as a rapper because surviving that album that everybody is like, I don't know about that. Kanye, 808s. Yeah. Although now we look at it as a good album. When that first came out, people was like, I don't know, came back with Twisted Fantasy. Wayne after Rebirth. People was like, I don't know, came with No Ceilings, Dedication 4, and Carter 4 right after that. Right. Hove with Kingdom Come. Came with, was it American Gangster? One of them albums came before, and then the other one came after to let you know I'm still here.
Yeah, T.I. never came back.
Eminem, if you were to take Eminem first 3 albums, where it's the Marshall Mathers LP, Slim Shady, and Eminem show,
yes,
and he never rapped again, you would have a solid case like that's easy, the biggest, best rapper ever.
Yeah.
But he take that nosedive
and never recover from it.
and it's not the same.
And so now that's something you got to look at
some
Eminem
people
with
who still would put Eminem in that discussion though.
And 1,000%, you could make the argument.
That's
Like
what I'm saying. Like
he nosedive on relapse. You come back on recovery, but you never that same Marshall Mathers LP guy.
And again, you right to throw Tupac in this conversation. I'm not saying he's out of this conversation. I am saying my reasoning for not having him on the Mount Rushmore. But why I stopped and paused was because of your aura impact. It's hard to leave Tupac off of that because in my eyes, he's the most influential rapper ever. My fault. He's the most influential rapper ever because it is something to say. In sports is one thing, like Michael Jordan influenced everybody, but we can see Steph's influence on the court and all of that. But with Pac and music and art, when you have inspired Hove, who has inspired Wayne, who has inspired Kanye, and from that that's the rest of rap music damn near. Yeah. And then Pac got 50, who's he inspired. Yeah. Pac was inspiring the niggas, Nas and shit. Like, it was, when he was in his heyday, he was inspiring his peers who he was younger than. Right. Pac passed at 25, right? Yeah. Like, we're all older than Tupac.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
So, like, when you do that, what he did that quickly, that young, you deserve to be talked about as he is talked about throughout time. It's hard for me because I also don't think Tupac was the greatest rapper. I think Tupac was an amazing messenger, and I think he knew how to make a song. But I don't think he was the greatest rapper. So when we take lyrical ability, I kind of move him down for that. Yeah. So it's hard, and I love him and Biggie so much because I like Biggie more than Pac because of the swag with Biggie that come with it. But Pac is more impactful than Biggie. I kind of just use them as like when we rank the Atlanta all-time list, and I say 3K and Andre are the godfathers. Take them off the list. We don't need to put them on this list. They are the godfathers of the shit.
That's the same person.
Oh, he said 3K and Andre. 3K
I
and
did.
Big Boy.
3K and Big Boy. Outkast is the godfather of this Atlanta shit, so we don't need them on this list. Pac and Biggie are the godfather. Like, we know who the fuck they are.
I treat them like Bill Russell and Will. Like, I feel like they were so dominant in such a, like, they stood out so much from everyone in that time. Like, it's hard to not have them as some of the best ever, but also they are kind of trapped in that time because they never got to progress past it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's yours?
Pac, Wayne.
Okay.
Pac, Wayne. See, I don't know. I listen to a different type of music, so my
Future? My fault.
Nah.
Go ahead, bro. We
Pac, Wayne. That's two. Pac, Wayne. You know, my goal is Kevin Gates. You know.
Go ahead.
I ain't gonna put him in my Mount Rushmore.
Listen, you can put him up there. You can put him up there
because he ain't survived till I die. He ain't survived the fall off.
He for sure didn't survive the fall off.
For sure did not survive the fall off.
Shout out Brittany Renner though.
It's them pills, twin. When he get back on them pills, shit just get bad, man.
It's prison too.
Pills, twin.
All right, so we got them two. It's a lot of rappers who didn't survive the fall off.
It's a lot, twin.
Bro, it's hard.
Like the trajectory Nelly was on.
Boy, that's a good one right there. That's a great
trajectory.
That's a great one, boy. Yeah.
So I'll probably go. I'm gonna go Pac, Wayne, Jay-Z, and Nas.
That's a good one. Because I was about to say Nas.
I want to say DMX name too, because I feel like when it comes to aura, DMX and 50 aura, like
I think Nas is a person you're gonna take off if you put DMX on there, because Nas never got the commercial success DMX got. Yeah. Like, that's the thing about DMX is like the impact, the aura, all of that, and then he had like real deal hits that still live today.
Well, the reason I have DMX and this is what I wanted to bring up for Kendrick Go cases, I feel like, especially right now, because it's about to be almost a year, but like it's prime 50 run, prime DMX run, 15, 16 Drake, and this past calendar year of Kendrick. Like the hottest rap year ever, like we might have just like lived through it. I don't know if I've ever seen a rapper go from, even if you don't even want to take from where he started to where he finished, just how hot he got in such a short time. Like Drake, like for reference, Drake released more music last year than Kendrick, including GNX. Now, like he dropped more songs than it didn't feel like it. Like everything Kendrick did hit, everything jumped, and then he did the Super Bowl, and from there it's just been fish grease. Like from when Like That came out, we've gone Kendrick and Future #1. To Kendrick #1 by himself, to Kendrick and SZA being #1 in 1 year. No one else is 8.
Shit. I love that point. I want to say my Mount Rushmore. I got it. Wayne, Hove, Nas, I'm Cap. Wayne, Hove, DMX, and
Snoop.
That fourth spot right now is gonna go to Pac because Kendrick will want me to say Pac right now.
That's hard.
I want to give it to Kendrick real bad, but I'm gonna say Pac for another year.
How y'all feel about like putting like the other historical like rap guys in those
like Melly Mel, like
Big Daddy Kane
and
Ghostface, Redman,
Wu-Tang members, you know what I'm saying?
Redman,
LL Cool J, because like
the RZA, yeah. I mean,
LL Cool J was the first big rap superstar.
Run DMC. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of names you could like. I don't know if these people deserve a spot on the Mount Rushmore, but like I'm sure there's an argument that can be made.
They're like the Jerry West of the game. Like it's just a different game. It feels like because back like when Run DMC and they were doing like the Walk This Way, it was like a different style.
And a two, and a scooter.
Like it was DJ Jazzy Jeff. Like niggas really came for the DJs. Like, and that's the Fresh Prince. Like,
what about Future, man?
I do want to get to that point. Future. All right, so audience, we're going to address his point about the older rappers. Yeah. We're going to get back to Ish's greatest year in rap point, and then we're going back to Future, just so we can organize.
Yeah, because I got some years I want to say about that too.
But the older guys is exactly what you said. It's the 30s through the 60s in the NFL and the 40s through the 60s,
like
70s.
My dad knows Earl the Pearl Monroe. Like he think he's like a top 10 player ever. Like,
the guys that's gonna tell you Pistol Pete Maravich the greatest point guard ever. Like LL Cool J is who he is, and he deserves to be in that Andre 3K, all of that, the Godfather area. Be mentioned. Make sure you know who they are. Go do your homework. Go do your research and pay your respects. And what I hate is when we disrespect them and act like the game wouldn't be what it is without LL Cool J, without Big Daddy Kane, without Melly Mel, with all of these rappers, without Run DMC, that all came before this.
Joe Budden.
Whoa.
Shout out Joe Budden.
Shout out Joe Budden. Shout out my nigga. Yeah. So what rap has been from the 90s to now and just what it was before that just isn't comparable to throw them in these conversations, in my opinion. Yeah. So your point to Kendrick now.
What was I talking about?
The years.
You said the years.
Oh, the years.
Yeah, like what do we think are like the hottest? Like, and it doesn't have to be like a strict year. Like, if you want to do 15, a little bit into 16, because this was across. Like,
I feel like when we talk about this type of stuff, we got to look at like, album sales and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Nelly went diamond.
I
feel like before 50 Cent came along and ruined his career, Ja Rule was blazing.
Listen, Wayne did $1 million first week on an album that leaked first. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Drake did. Drake last person to do $1 million first week. Hove did like
I feel like T.I.
$4 million.
T.I. in what, 06, 07?
Yeah.
Before he went to prison?
I think it was before, T.I. versus T.I.P., right?
Yeah.
Which album are you talking about?
King, T.I. versus T.I.P.
That was like 06, yeah. That was like 06.
It's a lot of years you could put up there, but I just feel like you got to say a name like Nelly just because he went diamond. There's only like 10 other rappers to do that.
Nah, that's a fact.
You got to say Nelly's name. I like your list. I would throw Wayne's 07, 08 in there because the Drought 3, the Carter 3, and it was like 200 features, bro. And then
was crazy.
What you be finding out and going back through is that's when the first Carter 3 leaked. So you got to throw like a double Carter 3 in that bitch.
He did $1 million first week and niggas had already got it out. Like,
type shit. So that year gets praise, but what I want to give credence to your argument is because what Kendrick did that was so different than everybody else was he destroyed and conquered.
Yeah.
Everybody else was falling in line.
Yeah.
Pac was taking the reins. Hove took the reins. Kanye, Wayne, 50 destroyed and conquered. Honestly, we just spoke about that with Ja Rule. So 50 and Kendrick are the only two to destroy and conquer. So I would really, if I'm putting a year up, I'm going them first because of what they had to do to create that year. Wayne was fish grease, and then started popping.
Yeah.
Kanye was fish grease, et cetera, et cetera. So with 50 and Kendrick, they literally had to look at the top nigga and say, I'm taking this shit. Yeah. It's mine. Literally. It's mine. That's when nobody expected them to do this. Like, when this Drake and Kendrick battle started, no one thought that it was ending like this.
Bro, it's
if
not.
we would have told you the day like that came out and we did that pod that day after, if we would have came in here and said Kendrick's gonna have 3 number ones, the biggest diss song ever, one of the best diss songs we've ever heard in Euphoria, Drake is not gonna be able to get the numbers he is from that, and then he's gonna do the Super Bowl and go on a stadium tour, which a rapper hasn't done, you would have looked at me like I was crazy. And if you would have said that to me, I would have laughed you out the room.
I mean, evidence of that is like, I think right when Euphoria came out, we came in here. I said, does it feel like Drake is bigger than Kendrick today?
Isn't that today like the 1
year? Yeah. Yesterday was
yesterday
was the anniversary. Like literally 1 year to the date. I came in here and I asked everyone, I was like, yo, does it feel like Drake is bigger than Kendrick today? And everybody was like, yes. And I was like, bro, like it is a sensible tide shift in just literally everything. I think that's one of the bot shit. It's so funny because it's literally everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like Kendrick YouTube videos killing Drake YouTube videos. Reactions of Kendrick killing reactions to Drake.
Yes.
Tweets, podcasts, references in TV. You saw a sizable shift where it was like everyone moved from one side to the other. Because you keep in mind, Drake was fresh off a tour, just had a number 1 with J. Cole, and about to pass Michael Jackson's record.
And her loss was crazy.
And he was sailing off into the sunset. Like, he just did 3 tours in a row. He was going to be out of his new deal. Like, if there was a time to be like you said, to step in and be like, all right, enough, it was then. And like you said, nobody expected it because, 50 jumped to the top, but a lot of artists have 1 album, 2 albums jump to the top. Very few rappers have jumped to the top, stayed at the top, and then jumped back over the top again.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
And that's what's so crazy about it. It's like, it's a second prime in a way. Like you mentioned, like when did Wayne stop making like elite album music? It's like around this time. That's what makes Kendrick's run so crazy is because once you get a second prime, you enter the GOAT conversation.
Right.
Yes.
Like once you're able to do it again, that's what separates you from everybody. So I think that's why I have that up there.
Since we talk about GOAT years, I would like to point out that Tupac dropped Me Against the World and All Eyes on Me within a 12-month span.
That's a fact. And
Don killed
him on his 7-day theory.
It came out like a month, 2 months after he died.
Yeah, a month.
That's
crazy.
That's like
that's a 3-album
audience.
right there.
If y'all don't know what
95, 96
is insanity. It would be like Kendrick Lamar dropping To Pimp a Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City in the same year. That's what that is.
And then dying and dropping GNX.
That's ridiculous. So all of those years are something we can argue.
Make a poll about that. Like, what's the greatest rap year of all time?
Yeah,
absolutely.
See what the people.
We
say
should do that. Thank you for that idea. We're gonna do that. Hell yeah. All right, Stunna. I do want to ask before we get off music and into
what year Rod Wave
the baby goat.
What year Rod Wave should we use?
Can you pick one? Can you really pick one?
I'm asking you I don't know if you have one that's like
Let me go through his catalog real quick.
It's like, does he have a 2016 Steph year? Because we use it for everything. We use that 1 year for everything.
His debut year was crazy.
Yeah.
When he first debuted and Cuban Links and all of that shit came out, that year was crazy. But his I would say that album, that Orange album, that year was crazy too.
Beautiful Mind?
Yeah.
I would say 21-22 would be Rod Wave.
Okay, all right.
But then he dropped Pray for Love in 20. You can't.
Oh, man.
That's why he's on the R&B Mount Rushmore. You know what I'm saying? I know we skipped past that a little. Rod Wave has been carrying R&B on his big ass back.
Yeah, buried the lead for sure.
And
what year did he start jumping at the concerts, like jumping off the stage?
I think that was 23.
Okay, that might be the year.
That nigga falling off that skyscraper on that set is the funniest shit to ever happen at a
big
concert.
Is so funny because you be seeing other big niggas do shit like, man, like we're too big for that. Like, you gotta go to the meetings, Rod Wave. This shit we don't do.
They was on Twitter talking about my nigga built like a bomb because he's 5'6", 300 pounds.
Built like a bomb is
like the first night he did it, niggas was dropping the memes. Like, imagine being under that section of the crowd, like the way he is.
Shout out to my nigga Rod Wave, man.
Shout out to a real performer, Rod Wave.
You feel me? That's how you put
I got you in the top 4 all time in this R&B shit. You done saying ghetto gospel.
You got him over Chris Brown?
That ain't even a discussion we need to have. That ain't even a discussion we need to have. It's other names we need to be asking about actually. Like Usher. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's the name I'm putting Rod Wave.
I just want to throw in an honorable mention for Grace, friend of the show. I would like to throw Bieber in there for
Bieber who?
Justin Bieber.
From R&B?
R&B?
Throwing him in there.
Does he make R&B music?
No.
Not really.
He got one R&B song. I got my peaches out in Georgia. Yeah, that's my shit. Stunna, I did want to ask you though, before we cut off music.
Didn't he make that my mama don't like you?
That's an R&B
She
song.
likes
Yeah,
that's
true.
I ain't gonna lie, that's my favorite
that's
song.
a good ass
That's
song.
true.
That's a good ass song.
Yeah.
I listened to that shit.
Got a couple females I feel like that about. We're not gonna speak on it. Let's go.
As you grow and get older and your music taste shapes, what draws you to rap music? Because I think it's important that when we have these Kendricks and these Wayne and all of these GOATs we always mention, the 50s, y'all know them. It's important that we do keep because this is bringing me the future. It's important that we keep the essence of this alive, and I think you listen to a lot of music that is the essence of what rap music is. Like the Drake, the pop, the superstardom is cool, but it is a section of this that keeps this rap shit what it is.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, what draws you to rap today? And what makes you excited about an album, about an artist, etc.?
All right, so I remember last time I was here, I asked y'all, if your friend was a rapper and you knew he wasn't living what he was rapping, would you be able to listen to it? Y'all was like, sure, as long as it sounds good. I like listening to rappers who I can believe. Like,
Okay.
because everybody's not a gangster. Everybody's not this. Some people are like, I like listening to like Starlito. Starlito, like he rap about his depression, when he go through it. I believe he actually go through that stuff. You know what I'm saying? ESTG, he's a gangster rapper.
Right.
And I've seen enough of his friends around him die to know that he's really in the street.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shit really going on in his neighborhood. So I just feel like the authenticity of the music is what really draws me in. But it's like, that's a two-way street because you never really know these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
I've heard rappers say, I met this other rapper, and they was nothing like what their music was. Like, imagine being 12 years old and you meet Lil Wayne and you find out he's not really a gangster. That probably would have broke my heart because I thought Lil Wayne was the biggest gangster in the world.
I knew niggas who like got in fist fights because Lil Wayne wasn't a
You
blood.
feel me? Like
I know niggas who was ready to take it to their grave.
that's some shit that'll break a kid's heart. And I feel like
No cap. You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
that's
You
some shit. Like if I was to meet ESTG today and find out like
He
he
a
really
square?
like he a square, he a bitch. Like fuck being a square. Like if he was a bitch, that'll hurt my heart.
But I feel like that in that I feel like that's what I love your question because I feel like that goes for every era of hip hop. Cause like imagine like meeting Hove in 2001 and he lame
even with Tupac. Like imagine meeting Tupac and he not really this gangsta ass
he a
nigga.
bitch ass nigga.
He really smart as hell and he really went to acting school. And, like it's probably God rest the dead. It's probably a good thing he passed when he did because by the time he got to the social media era, they would have been picking Tupac's career apart if he was still alive.
Yeah,
for sure.
And they would have poked all kind of holes into it. And
Something about Tupac's career that I do think goes unscathed is he was an amazing actor.
Yeah.
I do think he would have crossed over to film seamlessly. He would have been Ice Cube before Ice Cube.
That's another question I have. Who do y'all think like has the greatest? Like I don't want to say the greatest, but like who was y'all favorite rapper turned actor like in their projects?
Hold that there because that's a great question. I want to finish this conversation first because that's a great.
That's a good ass question.
But where I was going with that and why I asked Stunna this is because that brought me to Future. I spoke about the essence, the underground, the feel of this shit. Like, the shit Stunna talking about where you hear a nigga rapping, you feel that shit in your soul. And you feel that shit, like, it damn near make you want to cry because you feel that shit so much. Like, that type of music. And that is Future to so many people. And that is why I have Future ranked so high, which was Stunna's question 10 minutes ago. I have Future in the top 10 rappers of all time because he took trap music to a height we never saw it get to and we didn't know it could get to.
That's a fact.
Yes, T.I. is the founder of trap music, which is why he's borderline on that 8 through 10 for me as well because he invented this shit. And not only did he invent it, he was so technically sound with it. Right. Like, it sounded like corporate trap music. Yeah, he was able to do the real trap shit.
He was the master of trap music.
And then he mastered the corporate version of it. Like, exactly. So Future did that and then just took it somewhere. He took it to the fucking moon. Yeah. Like, T.I. was in space, but he took it to the moon and sat on that bitch. Like, so from that perspective, I think Future is such an important staple in what rap music really is and what it makes the people that shape this genre feel. Yeah. And so that's why I have Future so high on this list. So if I had to rank him, he would be somewhere 7 through 10, and I would argue with any New York nigga that got a problem with that.
That's a fact. Shout Future.
It's so weird putting people like Future in these conversations because, like, damn, we
grew up with him.
Like, we grew up with this.
Like
we really grew
from
up
start to
and,
finish.
Like, from start to he ain't even finished yet.
Ain't even finished.
Like, we seen the whole thing. I feel like it's kind of weird when you see the whole thing.
Yeah.
You can make an argument that Future dropped his best album last year, 14 years into his career. You talking about the second prime. Like, you talking about the second prime.
Surviving or falling.
What you talking about? I don't even know if he had one.
Future
in 14 years, I don't know if he had one.
That's
how many other rappers can actually say that.
And that was
none.
Point
I think
Drake.
I think that's a testament to his versatility, like when it comes to making music, though, because he's not just rapping.
Yes.
He's singing,
Exactly.
he's doing this and doing that. Sometimes he's high, sometimes he ain't.
Yeah, like
You know what I'm saying?
he's special.
Listen, when just to reference the show again, when the Like That beat cut on, and like, cause he don't play the whole song before he do it. He just play like the first 10 seconds of the Future part, and then he go. But when the whole stadium go, gotta fire my joint up on this bitch. Like it's just a little shit with Future. Like Future pushed it, and like we talk about Mixtape Pluto. Niggas kill me for loving Mixtape Pluto, but I love Mixtape Pluto because Future pushes the genre in ways niggas act like they don't see. Right. Like the whistle flow he did on that Black Panther shit 10 years ago that niggas kill him about. Brought it back on like that. Niggas still love it. When you put on Mixtape Pluto and he do the sleep, the niggas call it the sleep flow. Like, a lot of niggas heard this shit was like, bro, that shit weird. Nigga, that shit is so crazy. Like,
yeah, let's take Nas off my Mount Rushmore. Future.
He pushed the boundary,
Future or Thug, whoever you want to put up there, they got to be my fourth.
And
I'm from Atlanta, and I can't leave them out.
I do want to address some old niggas too.
Is Future better than T.I.?
Yes.
That hurts. Is Thug better than T.I.?
No.
There's an argument.
Yes.
There's an argument for T.I. and Future.
I
don't think the T.I. and Future argument is a black and white yes or no.
If Thug would have never went to jail, would he have a chance of catching Future?
Yeah. Yes.
He might have caught him already.
Yeah.
Thug was
hot.
Thug was fish grease.
I'm saying like
just now.
You talking about just now?
I'm talking about career wise.
Yeah, I think he would be as big. I think he would be bigger in the Future.
Because you just said that Future has passed T.I., but Thug hasn't.
Yeah, I don't, because that's the thing. Future has such a big head start on Thug.
Okay.
Because even when they first did that the collab, Super Slimy, I remember people joking like, yo, Future dragging Thug to his first 70K first week sale. Like, because Thug had a real hard time.
Thug first week sales used to be so bad. I never understood why.
Yeah, bro. Thug was in a bad deal.
Yeah. Like, I remember I used to be the nigga at the lunchroom ready to fight nigga saying Future was better than Thug. Because I always fucked with Future, but Thug was like my artist. Like, I've been listening to him since the Crooked Teeth.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah, I agree with Ish. First off, I think Thug still can catch Future. Right. He got to stay out of trouble. Yeah. And he has to continue on this mixing commercial music with his style, which he does very, very well. He doesn't lose the young thug you love, but makes it commercial. Right. And you have to do that to get into these conversations and then also keep the essence of who you are in that. And he does that well. I don't think it's far-fetched for him to catch Future. I think he just needs 2 albums that are, like, undeniable. I think I'm way higher on Punk than a lot of people, but I also think that's an album that, like Views is, that people are going to come back to later and understand.
I feel like Jeffrey is untouchable.
Jeffrey's so crazy.
That was the next album I was about to get to. Jeffrey is short. It came out right as Thug was getting a little notoriety, so a lot of people still haven't heard it. Right. Jeffrey is flawless, and Barter 6 is one of the best albums that's ever come out of Atlanta.
And I'm glad
one of the best albums that has ever come out of Atlanta.
You want to talk about 1 year runs? You want to talk about a single year of a nigga being hot?
And Rich Gang the tour to mix
Listen, Thug went.
I got a question about Barter 6.
Okay.
Now, I love Barter 6, just like everybody else do.
Yeah.
I don't think Barter 6 is better than So Much Fun.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Listen,
go back and listen to what Thug was saying on So Much Fun.
I know. I think So Much Fun is crazy. But if a nigga said, if a nigga from Atlanta, if I asked a nigga from Atlanta what's his favorite mixtape ever, and he said Barter 6, I wouldn't argue.
Oh no, of course.
I couldn't argue because Barter 6 was just so
like that was the prime
different.
that was the prime of everybody's life. Whatever age you was, that was the prime of your life.
That was like like you mentioned, Thug was getting a little notoriety. I was like, yo, fuck Lil Wayne. I'm still gonna name this shit Barter 6. And now it gotta be hard because it's called Barter 6. And it's crazy.
It's crazy as hell.
Ridiculous.
And it's impactful. It's influential.
Yeah.
It was nothing that sounded like that when that came out. So
and listen, halftime, like if you same thing, if you ask someone, what's your favorite Thug song, and they can say halftime, you can't
And this is the thing, bro, about Thug and Future and truly the South in general.
Yeah.
I want to make this clear. This is really a cloud over the South where we're so cool and we so like vibrant and colorful in the way our art is that the artistry goes unnoticed.
Right.
Yeah.
Future is known for making hits.
Yeah.
But Future is one of the most talented rappers that has ever come through this genre. No one understands that the reason you can't cut Future music off sometimes is because he has mastered the sonic, what to pitch his voice to make it sit on your eardrum right.
Yeah.
It's like technical shit like that, that I'm not making this up. This is stuff you can go listen to him talk about. Like, he is a genius, a literal genius. He understands how to use his voice as an instrument. He understands how to use the beat to bounce off his voice. Yeah. He is a technical master of this rap shit. And that also is Thug, which brings me back to the so much fun point, which is why I agree with you so much, because So Much Fun is a fun trap album.
Yeah, pocket masterpiece.
Like
pocket
it's
masterpiece.
Like he made a commercial fun party album that's full of music talking about killing niggas. Yeah. And you can't tell.
And it's crazy.
Because of how he blends the sounds, the beats, how he delivers the lines, how he uses his voice. Go listen to the beginning of Hot.
Yeah. What's the hit? Get a nigga ass whack for a bowl of noodles.
Go listen to that is hilarious. Go listen to the beginning of Hot and listen to the pocket Thug gets into before his verse. It's little shit like that you just can't teach. That because the music is fun, it's flowy, it's colorful. We lose sight of how talented these young rappers are in Atlanta. Thanks. So to the Thug point, Thug is on any trajectory he wants to be as long as he gets 2 classic albums.
He just got to stay out of trouble.
He just got to stay out of trouble.
Go ahead.
I also feel like, to piggyback on your point, people take the artistry and they don't understand, like, these niggas really be talking that shit.
Yeah. They don't hear it.
Like, especially, like, post-trial, I feel like it's, a little easier to say on this platform, but like, I know you went through this because you was a Thug, a Thug fan. But like, it was a couple years where niggas was trying to like play Young Thug, like Young Thug was
like couldn't rap,
or he couldn't rap, or like he was sweet, like he was, like he got a dress on. And I vividly remember I'm sitting in this PlayStation party with these niggas. I still play the games with these niggas, and they was talking about Thug wearing a dress. I was like, fam, Young Thug really do it to niggas. Like, please stop talking about Young Thug like that. Like he really, like, that's the thing I really love about it is like when I listen to Punk, bruh, like the shit he's talking on dropping jewels and all that. Like,
oh my God.
Like, that's real shit.
It's real shit, dog.
I love you.
Like, Young Thug is one of the most talented rap artists to ever come through this genre. That boy can sing. Yeah. He can make R&B music. He can do anything he wants to.
The Young Thug flow, like the in and out of pockets, like you mentioned Jeffrey, how it's untouchable. Like, I remember listening to Jeffrey. I think it was Harambe or Kanye West, one of the songs on there. But like, Young Thug was one of the first artists where he would give you 3 or 4 hooks on one song. Right. Every verse would have a different hook at the end. He would keep 4 songs. Like, it was ridiculous.
He's special. All right, wonderful music talk. No, we got to finish on Stunna's question because that was a great question. Ask it again about the movies.
Who is y'all like favorite rapper turned or not even rapper, just artist period turned actor?
So,
because I was having this debate with a couple friends of mine, and I think that Jamie Foxx is a better actor than Will Smith.
No.
He's not.
I will go to my grave thinking that Jamie Foxx is a better actor than Will Smith.
You be wrong.
Because we were talking about Denzel versus Will.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, dude. Will not even better than Jamie.
What?
You're out of your mind.
Have y'all not seen Ray?
I have seen Ray.
Have you seen Ali?
Will Smith was not the best actor in Ali.
Yes, he was.
Jamie Foxx was.
No, he wasn't.
Jamie Foxx was in the movie.
I feel like Jamie Foxx.
He wasn't better than Will Smith was.
No, I'm saying he is a better actor than him, though.
See, but this is the thing about Ray. Jamie Foxx is a singer too. Like I feel like if Chris Brown did a Michael Jackson movie, I wouldn't be like Chris Brown, the best actor ever, because he took the Michael Jackson role. Like that's kind of what you were supposed to do.
That's a great point.
Like but Jamie, we had this argument a couple years ago. Jamie Foxx is, I did yield. Jamie Foxx is probably the most talented person ever. Like, outside of like Michelangelo, like the genius niggas, like figured out time and space with the fucking rocket calculator. Like just pure talent. Like act, sing, rap, play the piano, comedy, dance, everything.
Voiceover. There's nothing he can't do. Animation. He just cold. So I want to give Jamie his flowers. I just don't even. And it's not Jamie's fault. I'll say this. This is some credit I will give him. If Jamie wanted to focus on strictly acting, you'd be right. He just doesn't. So I don't think he even has the capability of being that.
Yeah, I think so.
I've seen White House Down to it.
Have y'all seen Any Given Sunday?
Yes. You know yes, bro.
Y'all know who Willie Beeman is.
Yes, we know.
You know what I'm saying? What else was Jamie? And Jamie, I ain't gonna let him do this.
Let me ask this.
I ain't gonna let him do this. Oh, Lord.
I ain't
gonna let him do this. I ain't gonna. Edit that out. You know what I'm saying? Didn't mean for that.
Bro, you safe, bro. Can't nobody get in this building.
Listen,
you safe,
first
bro.
thing I said.
Like you are safe here,
I just
bro.
gotta make sure we all good.
I saw when he walked out. I said, "You good, right? Like you straight?" Like,
I just gotta make sure nobody follows me.
Let me ask this follow up for you.
But no. Real shit though. We gotta put some respect on Willie Beeman. Okay. The Jamie Foxx show is an underrated classic.
I think Jamie Foxx is one of the best actors ever. Best crossover. Like I feel like Jamie Foxx is a supporting actor, one of my favorite supporting actors.
Exactly.
But I also saw The Amazing Spider-Man too.
All right. All right, let me put it like this then. We gonna do it as a combination.
Okay.
Who's a better entertainer, Jamie Foxx or Will Smith?
Jamie Foxx.
You think Will Smith is a better
Jamie
entertainer?
Foxx is a better entertainer for sure.
Music-wise, who would you take?
Jamie Foxx.
Comedy-wise, who would you take?
Jamie Foxx.
Hold on. I don't know. Did y'all hear that last Will Smith album?
No.
I did not, but I've heard Summertime or whatever his song is.
Y'all didn't hear that last shit?
No.
Hold on.
They got no play.
Hey, give me 10 minutes. I'm finna play this album for him.
Don't play that for me, please.
Okay. Cut. All right, y'all. This is episode 116. All right, y'all. We gonna get out of here. But listen. So I think Jamie makes better music, and I think Jamie is stand-up comedy funnier. But Will Smith made the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. End of discussion on TV. Movies, not even open book. Not even you can't. It's incomparable. Will Smith movie resume to Jamie Foxx.
I don't think so.
Also,
Will Smith got some misses too.
Will Smith made Bad Boys.
Will Smith has 4 bad boys.
Will Smith
and every single one of them is insane.
Will Smith.
Every single one of them. Independence Day, crazy.
Will Smith wasn't.
I Am Legend, crazy. Hancock, crazy.
What about that movie that
Focus,
came out on Netflix
crazy.
first? What about the movie that came
Bright,
out?
that movie is good. That's a good movie.
With the younger clone of him? That shit go crazy.
It's crazy.
That shit was weak, man.
Bright. Concussion, crazy. The shit he just did with Serena and what's her face. The one he won the Oscar for when he slapped Chris Rock. Sir David, crazy.
Willie Beeman.
I did. But I also watched Hancock.
Hancock was a great movie.
Hancock was gas. You crazy. Hancock was hard.
Hancock was amazing.
Hancock was,
Y'all understand the message?
A black superhero. Fuck the message. What the hell?
It was flying.
They made the first black superhero a drunk. Come on, they trying to tear down my
That was
people.
not the first black
They trying to tear down my people.
Blade came out.
We had Blade.
That nigga hilarious.
Talking about Blade.
But listen,
Blade ain't Hancock.
Listen,
But this ends the point. That when Stunna asked this question and said, what rapper turned actor do you think is the best? Will Smith is such a good actor, he didn't even come to my mind to say this. Because he's not a rap. He's an actor.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
I really asked that question because I feel like T.I. could have been such a good actor, seeing his role on Takers.
And Ant-Man.
I don't know.
And he got in that movie.
I feel like he wasn't the best actor in ATL.
He got on that movie that also premiered on Netflix, I think, where he was acting like he was from New Orleans, and it was one of the worst acting performances I've ever seen.
Are you talking about the one where he was floating dancing in the house with his mom?
Is that the one?
He had a brother, and his brother kept fucking up in some shit.
No, I'm talking about the movie where it's based right after Katrina, and the dude was trying to get the dude was trying to like get FEMA money, but they said he didn't apply, so he started robbing banks or started robbing casinos.
See that, man?
Y'all, matter of fact, I'm finna find a name.
Netflix doing
You know,
whatever.
Stunna be watching Tubi movies.
Yeah,
I do.
That sounds like something you had to watch all the way through. Like, they wasn't saving your progress in that movie. Like,
What movie was this, bro? Oh my god.
That's something you had to watch.
there was no pause in that movie. Like,
Bro, where's it's called Cutthroat. It's called Cutthroat.
oh yeah, no, I ain't never.
Cutthroat City. It's called Cutthroat City. It's based about a guy.
You could have
in New
told me that
Orleans.
movie was called anything. Like,
It's called Cutthroat City. It's based. It's. I feel like he was the worst actor in the movie. That's why I brought it up because like I feel like his acting trajectory could have been
good, but
and then I seen that movie and it was like
let me ask you,
Clifford.
Let me ask you this. I wish Chris was here because Chris hates this argument.
That nigga said, you can't pause that. He said, when you turn that picture, you gotta finish.
Hey man,
That's shit I heard, bro. Oh my fuck, bro.
Let me ask you this.
All right.
Do you think the plot of ATL makes sense?
Yes, because it's not based on a true story, but it's based on like
2 minutes.
life.
So just a quick rundown for the people listening. I have always argued. First of all, Big Boy is the best actor in ATL, easily one of the best acting performances ever.
Shut up, Big
They should
Boy.
put that polo in like a fucking.
I don't think he was the best actor.
Shout out, Big Boy.
In that movie, easy, and none of it was scripted. That was all off top.
Yeah,
Secondly,
I feel like he was just being himself.
and Big Boy's it's Big Boy, but I think T.I. I don't think his character make any sense. Like
Makes a lot of sense.
I feel like it's so
What part
weird.
doesn't? Oh, it's
The
you mad
Nunu
because your
shit.
girl? You mad because your girl is rich?
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't connect.
What's the point of lying to me?
She never lied.
She did.
She never
She
lied.
portrayed to be something she wasn't. She omitted the truth. An omission is a lie.
And the other side of that is you assume she was poor because she was at Cascade.
No, he didn't assume she was poor. He assumed she came from where I came from.
Why?
Because she acted like she came from where I came from.
She's at Cascade. Who cares?
She had ample time to say, hey, you know, matter of fact, I can point out the exact moment she lied or the exact moment she omitted the truth.
Okay.
When he was taking her home and she said, no, don't take me to my house. Drop me off here.
At the bus stop.
The fuck?
I feel like it's very. She's met that nigga. I feel like it's very normal.
She didn't just meet him.
I mean, it's the first time they was together. Like that's what I feel like. I feel like in context of the movie, I understand for the plot, but I feel like
in real life, I feel
normal.
like if I took a girl out and she told me drop me off at the bus stop instead of my home,
yeah.
no, like what the fuck you talking? Matter of fact, call your dad. Call you. We finna go. All this
I see that. I understand,
I'm not finna let.
but it's also women is like, I don't want you to drop me off to my house the first time that I'm in your car. Like, she didn't want that nigga to know where she lives.
Not in 2006.
I understand that, and that would probably make more sense if she would have said something as the movie progressed.
And another thing, her name is Nunu. How I think she getting all this shit? She got a fucking job.
He thought she was stealing like her homegirls was. He asked her the question.
So he would have been cooler if she was stealing this shit out of Lennox.
He would have been cooler if he fell in love with the person she really was instead of the person she was.
Why is she not that person though?
Because she's not. She didn't act like that when she was at the house with her dad.
She not at Cascade. If I go to Cascade, I'm not gonna act like that at home. Like,
but it's who you are. Like that's like you know what I'm saying. That's like me being from Atlanta.
yeah,
And a bitch come from wherever she from.
right.
And she trying to talk like me. She trying to walk like me. She trying to talk like the girl she see around me.
That's fair.
And it's like, I find out that's not really you. I'm like, that. So who did I really fall in love with?
I 1000% agree with that. But she didn't come to him. They met at the same point. Like
She was
they
waiting
met
for my
each
boy
other.
In the beginning of the movie, they was at Waffle House.
But
right when Monica walked away, she said,
she wasn't. She didn't see T.I. and be
30
like,
seconds.
Yeah, she didn't see T.I. and be like, let me act like this. She just act like that in general.
exactly.
Like,
That would have made it even worse.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. She just acts like that in
So you
general.
just fake all around.
But how is that fake?
Because that's not who you are. You don't act like that when you're at home.
But this is my thing. Her dad is rich, right?
Exactly.
She's not rich.
That's a technicality.
That's what I'm saying.
She grew up privileged. She grew up.
And
then she said,
we got 15 seconds left in this. You're cleaning toilets.
even when she said,
T.I.
even when she told Esquire,
T.I. is up at 5 a.m. cleaning toilets.
when Esquire was at the house, she was like, "Oh, I'm from the trade." No, you're not. Why? You're not from over here, dude. Chill out, relax. You have a Picasso in your house.
Yeah.
Take the piss in the hallway.
I don't think she from the trap, but also like it's 5 a.m. and you're cleaning toilets with your uncle. Like I feel like you being mad your girl is not poor is such a weird thing.
But that's not why he was mad. That's not the essence of why he was mad. He's mad because she was being fake.
I'm gonna watch ATL tonight.
You should. It's a great movie.
It's on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tap into that tonight.
Or Tubi. Shout out to Tubi.
Definitely on Tubi.
Tubi finna get a new selection of movies tomorrow, I believe.
You know the drop?
Come on now.
You know the drop.
All the other movies said it expires today, yesterday. So I'm making an educated guess.
Oh my god.
You said you can't pause that shit.
No, I really want y'all to go watch that movie to see how bad his acting.
I will do that. I love watching bad movies. That's my favorite shit.
It's crazy because I want to answer your question. My follow-up question to what you were saying about rappers that turn to actors. Now, are we saying in their own solo type movie or just their careers as actors?
Careers as actors.
Okay, because I wanted to do like who has the best movie.
Ice Cube.
I don't know if y'all want to do that. Ice Cube?
Yes.
Which movie?
Either Friday or Friday after that.
See, that's crazy. I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess that kind of counts. I'm thinking like Get Rich or Die Trying or 8 Mile.
Okay.
Like where they're kind of playing themselves.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
I've only seen 8 Mile.
You say T.I.'s kind of playing himself in ATL?
Yeah.
So would you throw that in there? I don't think.
Yeah.
T.I. rapper at ATL?
Yeah.
You know the funny thing I just found out last night?
T.I. is the star. T.I. stars ATL.
Y'all know the funny thing I just found. Y'all know what's his name?
Did it click?
No, bro. I didn't know he was like a rapper as his character in ATL.
Oh no, he wasn't.
Okay. That's what I was asking.
No. As
y'all
I said,
know that
he was cleaning toilets at 5 a.m.
His I think that character was what's his name? It's a famous producer from Atlanta.
Will Packer?
No, his name starts with a T. His last name is Austin. Had a baby with Chili.
Salute to him. They got a baby.
They said that movie was like based off him and T.
Tyler Perry?
No.
Okay.
Tyler Perry having a baby with a woman is crazy.
Yeah.
You think Tyler Perry?
Do I? Have you not seen the Boondocks episode?
Listen, any nigga that got so mad he got it ripped off the air, I don't know, man. That nigga might be gay.
You got that shit ripped off of everything. Like you got a YouTube that episode of the Boondocks. You can't watch it nowhere else.
He say, yo, if y'all don't take this down, y'all will never get another one of my movies again.
But what was I finna say?
Fuck Tyler Perry, dude.
But to answer your question, I was just watching 8 Mile the other day. I think Get Rich or Die Trying is better though.
Oh, that's tough. Get Rich or Die Trying is crazy. Shout out Terrence Howard.
I wish Get Rich or Die Trying was a longer movie.
Terrence Howard said I couldn't play more.
And I think the depth that the parallels between Get Rich or Die Trying and like the reports of 50 Cent's real life is kind of crazy. Like,
Terrence Howard said, if I gotta get some, I'm gonna cut my lips off, bro.
We were so close to him being in the MCU.
Bro, why did he say that? Bro?
We were Empire away from him being in the MCU. He was gonna be in Endgame.
Shout out to Terrence.
He was gonna be in Endgame.
Shout out to
he was gonna be War Machine. Like,
oh, thank God, bro.
Shout out Terrence, bro.
All right, let's get into the sports. Stunna, bro. Wrong thing. Focus.
Not on camera.
It's been a crazy episode. It's been a crazy episode. Episode 116, man.
The NFL draft has completed. Last time me and Ish got on, we recorded last Thursday, the night of the draft at midnight. So right after Shedeur was not drafted in the first round, and we were both sure he was getting drafted on the second day in the second or third round, and Lord have mercy, he did not. He fell to the 5th round pick, 144, to the Cleveland Browns after they drafted Dylan Gabriel 2 rounds before in round 3, which made no sense to me. So a lot of conversation has been surrounding. This has been the focus of the draft. They have talked about Shedeur Sanders more than they have talked about the top 5 picks in the draft combined.
Facts.
Ish, I want to start with you.
Okay.
And we're gonna go three topics in there. So let's stay on one. All right. The first topic, and I'll give you guys the 3 topics so y'all can be excited for them. The first topic is what could Shedeur have done better? And what could Prime, along with that, what could Shedeur and Prime have done better? 2, do you think this was the NFL trying to teach them a lesson? And 3, we'll hold 3. But let's start with those 2 questions.
Can I answer those together?
Yes, of course. That's why, yeah.
Okay, so 1,000%, especially, let's hit the first one first. What he could have done better is tap dance a little bit, for lack of a better term. Not tap dance like, act like, what's Kevin Hart friend that we hate? Tiffany Haddish. Don't act like, someone like that.
Nuts. That's fucking crazy. But you can't pause none of her movies.
Chill out. Y'all not chill.
Listen, Tiffany Haddish was walking around the Oscars handing out fried chicken. Oh my God. You
gotta represent.
Yeah, no, she has been all time on that. Listen, I can't even say that word on here, but I think Shedeur Dion the camp handicapped himself to a certain degree when you don't speak to certain teams or when you don't care about certain interviews. They said he bombed the Giants interview, which is crazy to think about. If that is true, that's super crazy. But I do think it was only so. I think if he didn't want this to happen, he had to be humble, quiet, kind of the certain level, certain type of black person they're looking for. Mm-hmm. Because, leading into the second point, they were 1,000% trying to send Shedeur a message. You don't draft... Like, the Browns had several opportunities to draft him higher. It was obvious they, one, either did not want to draft him, which does look weird with that picture of the GM, or two, they wanted him to be humble. I think he was in a super tough position, but the NFL has wanted to send messages to several players over the last couple years, and they've all been sent.
Facts. Stunna.
Sure. Interesting.
I will repeat the question.
No.
Oh, you good? Okay.
I'm just pondering how deep I want to go into this.
Okay.
Go.
It's a rabbit hole.
Go all the way. Pause.
The first thing I think that Shedeur could have done differently happened. It's way before the draft process. I think he probably should have went to a college that wasn't coached by his dad. That's number one. Because I'm not saying the NFL penalized him for it, but it just looks like everything in your life has been given to you.
I want to pause you right there and say I completely agree with that. All right.
Yeah. So number two, I think Dion could have Shedeur. I think the thing that one of the things in my mind that really fucked up Shedeur was when I think he went out to the bowl game, had New York Giant color shoes on. It's like, you're alienating yourself when you're doing that because if they don't want you, then who is going to? Because Dion made it clear.
We're dictating.
We want to go to New York. There's certain teams we're not going to play for. I think they even had an interview a year ago where they asked Dion, like, you know what I'm saying, where you want him to go, and he was like, oh, well, we got it certain places. Yeah. And they was like, Cleveland? He said, no. And he like laughed.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't, it's just certain
He got a
stuff
tweet about Cleveland. He got a tweet about Cleveland.
Yeah. But, and the last thing I think he could have did was go through his progressions faster, have a stronger arm, be the athlete that Dion was, which things that he can't really control. Yeah. So it's like,
could have been Cam Newton. Should have been Cam Newton.
You should have just, you know what I'm saying?
Be the greatest athlete of the modern era at quarterback. Like,
and it's like, not to go off topic or nothing, but Shedeur was a fantastic college quarterback. I want to preface my statements by saying that he was a great college quarterback. We have seen many college quarterbacks who lack the physical skills go to the NFL and be average. I said it when he was at Jackson State. I thought Shedeur Sanders and in the NFL is gonna look like Teddy Bridgewater before he tore his knee up. That's not a bad quarterback, but that's not a superstar.
That's facts.
Are you willing to draft the the teams who drafted quarterbacks above Shedeur? And it was like Cam Ward, Tyler Shuck, Jackson Dart. Mind you, I think Cam Ward was the only good quarterback in this draft. Or at least good. You know what I'm saying? Good, that's going to be good in the league. So after that, it's a toss-up for me. I think if Shedeur was, like I said, a better athlete or had a stronger arm, he would have. I don't think the league would have let him fall to the fifth round if they thought he was a franchise quarterback. I don't care how bad of a lesson they want to teach.
1,000%. I think you're right.
Okay.
If they think you're a franchise quarterback, they don't care about your. Shedeur ain't never get no real trouble. He's not an alcoholic. He don't do cocaine. We've seen quarterbacks who do those things get drafted in the first round.
And that's the thing. Even if he did,
you know what I'm saying?
If he was Cam,
if you were a generational, like, because they were, that's what it was like. They were talking about Dion was trying to group him into Travis's conversations.
Yeah, about two generational athletes.
Like they were both generational prospects, and Shedeur just never was that to me. I thought he was a great college quarterback, like oh man, what's my man's name who played for Boise State? Kellen Moore, who's the coach in wherever he the coach is. My man who played at Hawaii, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. May God rest his soul. But they were great college quarterbacks, leading all-time passing touchdowns. Sometimes it just doesn't translate, and I don't think the NFL thinks he will translate because he's not the athlete. If you're not going to be a great athlete, have a mediocre arm, and be a slow processor, the league's not going to be willing to bet on you.
Okay.
And then the last point I'm going to make is when you have those 3 downfalls and they don't think you're gonna be an elite quarterback, they don't want the media circus with it. That's all
true.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Both of y'all are right. I want to start with, again, saying that I do agree with Stunna. From the jump, I get why he did it, but I know for a fact Prime staying with Shedeur for the entire 4 years is a problem. Even if Prime would have stayed at Jackson State and after 2 years he would have went to the SEC or ACC and played how he played, Shedeur would be looked at differently. Right. You're absolutely right. Everything looks like it's been given to him. But I want to start with Ish started first because it's been very interesting to watch the media circus behind this because of the division of the tap dancing niggas on TV, the white men on TV, and then the real niggas on TV. Because every nigga on TV that is one of us for real understands the scope of this situation. Right. We understand what is going on, which is why I'm agreeing with Stunna. I don't think Shedeur has Shedeur doesn't have the strongest arm. He's not the best athlete, and he took way too many sacks that he just shouldn't have taken. Because a lot of people are like, his offensive line was bad. Okay, if we all can see that, you should know that, which means after your second or third read is in there, stop trying to make a play. And that's what he wasn't doing. I've watched every Shedeur Sanders game since he was at Jackson State his second year. Like, I love what they had going. I love Travis. I love it all. But I knew Shedeur's limitations. Why I personally was so high on Shedeur is because I'm high with quarterbacks that have great intangibles. I think Shedeur is a great leader. He is very clutch. He is extremely accurate, and he does not get rattled. Those are really big proponents, and he thrives in the moment. Like, not only is he clutch, he wants the moment. He wants the ball.
I got a question.
In those moments, I want a quarterback like that. Yes.
Do you think he's going to be able to be a great leader when it's not a whole bunch of 19 and through 21-year-olds who knows your dad is Deion Sanders and is the head coach?
Yeah.
Yes, I do, because I don't think – because even more so as more than grown men – young niggas is gonna look at that like, nigga, you had everything handed to you. Like, nigga, like, cause Shedeur wasn't playing with no private school prep kids. He was playing with niggas that was from that. So it was like, when you looking at Shedeur, if you see one thing about us, we gonna see some bullshit. We gonna notice some bullshit. Right. So if they would have got up there and saw this little father-son relationship was way too much, it was some bullshit, it was phony, it was for the cameras, you would have seen that. Somebody would have come out and said that. It would have been something to show for that. I think from 4 years of this has been the system, and every teammate, every offensive lineman, defensive coordinators have come out and been like, we love this kid. He's a great leader. He's a great person. I think that just shows you the character of who he is.
That was such a great question. You really do be podding. I ain't gonna lie. You be podding. You've been podding today.
That was a phenomenal
question. Is why I think this is such a great question, because if you would have asked that question a week ago, I would have been 1,000% correct with you. Because if Shedeur would have went Jackson State, daddy's the coach, Colorado, daddy's the coach, third overall pick, Giants, or whatever they were, I think it's harder to be a leader in that position. Yeah. Because it's been like, handed to you, Deion Sanders, your dad, he got you drafted. And with the quality of player he was, if he would have went third, I think it's harder to be a leader in that circumstance. Right. But what you're seeing now from the Browns players who have spoken out, the people who believe in him even more now, because he is that 5th round draft guy. Right. Like the same way they believed in, I don't want to evoke his name, but like the same way they believe in Brady's 6th round draft guy. Like, you are here because you are the 5th QB on this roster and would not quit. So if Shedeur is able to turn around in Cleveland, like if we look at the Cleveland QB room, I'm not going. Dylan Gabriel, he'll be a coach in like a year and a half. Kenny Pickett's not an NFL quarterback.
Why you writing off Dylan?
He's bad.
He wasn't bad in college. He was a Heisman.
Everything you said about Shedeur, he's worse than Shedeur, and he's 5'11".
And
he's a better athlete.
Listen. When you're doing draft interviews to be a backup quarterback, I'm not worried about him being the starter next year. Like that's the thing for Shedeur. Shedeur cannot be a backup. Yeah. So when he's going into camp, he needs to be trying to compete with 40-year-old Joe Flacco. I don't know if he's better than 40-year-old Joe Flacco because Joe Flacco's 40 years old. He can hit hard enough. He may not have to be better than Joe Flacco. So I think if he is able to go from 5th round out the mud, David Njoku said something. I think Denzel Ward said something. They are going to rally around him because, like you said, like us, we know some bullshit. We also know the NFL niggas hate the business of the NFL.
Yes.
And that's what this Brown shit looks like, where it's a lot of business. Like first day of training camp, you don't think they're looking at Dylan Gabriel like, why the fuck did we draft this nigga? And then draft Shedeur.
But what if he goes out there and performs better than Shedeur in training camp?
He ain't performed better than him in college.
I just don't think that. I just don't think that would be true.
He didn't have Travis Hunter.
He played on Oregon. He had the best supporting cast in the league.
That's not true.
Oregon weapons was crazy. Like Travis Hunter, for sure. That number 1 wide receiver. Shedeur at Oregon is a Heisman finalist.
Jimmy Horn, no, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he is not.
Yes, he is.
What?
No, he is
Shedeur
not.
at Oregon last year with that personnel is a Heisman finalist. Stop it.
Name me 3 players that played on Oregon's offense.
Listen, when I play NCAA mutt. I play Ultimate Team.
Tez Johnson, the big ass tight end Ferguson, my nigga. And I can't remember that last receiver name.
You can name 3 players that played in Colorado's though.
That's because I watched every Colorado
Does Travis
game for
Hunter
2 years.
on defense count?
No.
Okay, so
we talking about strictly
I can name 3. I can name 3 niggas that play for Colorado. It's Travis Hunter, Shiloh, and fucking Shedeur. Like,
you can name Jimmy Ward. You can name LeJohntay Wester. LeJohntay Wester was balling for Colorado.
LeJohntay Wester, dog. I like
Jimmy Horn was balling for Colorado. Like,
there
were points at time where people thought Colorado had the best receiving core in the nation besides Ohio State.
I think you are right that people would know more of Colorado's supporting cast, but how much of that is Deion Sanders' coach and his dad is the son, and they are the biggest college football
Well,
scorer
I'm a college football guy,
league,
so I like Jimmy Horn was supposed to come to Georgia out of high school.
Really?
Yes. Okay. He chose South Florida because I think Georgia offered him too late. Okay. That's another story for another day. But I just think there's a world where Dylan Gabriel might just be like they might just be equal.
at that size.
I want to finish.
How tall is Shedeur? Like 6'1"?
6'2".
6'2",
6'2.5", yeah.
He's 3, and that's the thing.
5'11",
At Dylan Gabriel's height, it's not good enough for him to be tied with Shedeur, though.
Aren't you a Baker Mayfield guy?
No, I hate Baker Mayfield.
And Baker Mayfield.
I don't like Drew Brees either.
And Baker Mayfield has
Tom Brady's 6'5". That's what I like at quarterback.
How tall is Drake May?
Drake is 6'3", I think. Drake is big.
I do want to continue.
Pause that.
Because
you know, no pause. 10 big in New England.
Shedeur is in a position that no athlete has been in before.
Yeah. What you mean?
Shedeur's dad is the greatest athlete ever.
Let's
he is
really
maybe. No, I mean it's Deion Sanders though.
But let's reel it back.
Deion Sanders the
for
only
the
person.
sake of the argument.
Deion Sanders the only person to score a
point,
touchdown and hit a home run the same week.
But let's reel it back a little bit.
But
he is one of the greatest.
We can have the debate in a second.
Yeah,
for my point,
let's do that next.
He is the greatest athlete ever.
Yeah.
There is no athlete that has a dad like Prime that came into the spotlight as well and has shown that he has talent in his sport and not a Bronny James situation. No offense to Bronny because I'm on his side in that. But not a Bronny James situation, not a Scottie Pippen Jr. situation. Shedeur is a star. Shedeur is a real star. There hasn't been an athlete that has come into this situation. And then not only is Shedeur a star, the way Prime has carried himself since Prime has been in the spotlight is unlike any other athlete ever. And Prime is one of those people where you love him or you hate him. Yeah. There is no in between because of who he is and who he has made his brand to be. The problem that Shedeur had was he acted as if he was Prime.
Yeah, you're not.
He acted as if he had the talent Prime had when he came out. Yeah. And the reason he acted like that was because Prime told him he could. And the reason I know Prime told him he could act like that is because Shiloh wasn't acting like that.
Yeah.
There's another son on this team that is trying to get to the NFL that has NFL talent and was a potential draft pick, and he got treated in the draft process completely different. You didn't hear about Shiloh's interview problems. Yep. You didn't hear about Shiloh not showing up at workouts. You didn't hear about none of that from Shiloh because he was honest with Shiloh. Yeah. Shedeur was getting fed bad information from Prime, and Prime was getting fed bad information from his friends in the NFL. Because people weren't being honest with how the NFL viewed Shedeur. From the history of this prime Shedeur Sanders family and what we have seen from them, one thing I know about Prime is he is honest.
Yeah.
Because he got up after that Kansas State game and said Shiloh played terrible. This is awful. This is atrocious. After Shedeur had that bad game in Nebraska, boy was bad. I don't know who that was on that field. He's honest with them. I know for a fact if Prime would have got fed information that, they don't view him as a top 2 quarterback in this class. They think this Tyler kid might be better than him. They think Jackson Dart might be better than him. He needs to show up at everything. Shedeur would have shown up at everything. Right. Because he was getting fed the wrong information, he carried himself as if he was a lock for the number 2 pick. And if you're not a lock for the number 2 pick and the NFL views you as a backup, which they showed you they do, you can't be a media circus. That is why Cam Newton never got another job. That's why Tim Tebow never got another job. That's why Brett Favre had to retire.
Aaron Rodgers is about to retire.
That's why you had Aaron Rodgers is about to. You can't have media circuses.
We're gonna talk about your boy too.
As backup quarterback.
I forget. We're gonna talk about your boy too.
You can't. You simply cannot have that in an NFL franchise. They have shown you time and time again they don't want to deal with that. But on the flip side, the NFL was absolutely trying to teach him a lesson because the Tyler Stroh pick, the Jalen Milroe pick, and the Dylan Gabriel pick, most of all, shows you they were trying to teach him a lesson. Yeah. They were trying to show him, humble yourself or we will embarrass you. Yeah. The Shield is the brand. Yep. You are not the brand. You are not the face of anything. You are a part of a brand. You are not the face of a brand. And they wanted him to know that. They wanted him to feel that. So they embarrassed him. And I know they felt this way because Andrew Berry got on that phone right after he drafted him, one of the biggest, best moments of his life, after an embarrassing weekend, and said, nothing's going to be given to you. Yeah. Why are you saying that? Yeah, why is that an assumption that you think he's just assumed shit is going to be given to him? It's because of how he carried himself for one, and the messages the NFL wants to send to him too. So this is not one of those situations where I think the NFL is completely wrong or I think Shedeur is completely wrong. I think it's 60% NFL, 40% Shedeur, 30% Shedeur, and the rest is on Prime and his sources. But I think Shedeur is going to be a great quarterback. I think in a couple of years, Shedeur will have the Cleveland Browns back on track. Well, on track, there's no back on track to get to. Yeah. But I think the Cleveland Browns will be a formidable team for the foreseeable future. He will be the starting quarterback week 1 because he's that talented. He is that guy. He is that leader. And there's a reason Mel Kiper was on TV saying he's a future Hall of Famer. There's a reason Bucky Brooks was on NFL Network saying he's better than Cam Ward. We just are trying to nitpick Shedeur, and we're not nitpicking everybody else because he's Prime's son. He's been in the spotlight, so we want to find something wrong with him. Literally. We want to find something wrong with him, and that was the problem that Shedeur was facing. Shedeur doesn't miss. Everybody's talking about his size. He doesn't have the strongest arm. There are maybe 6 times a season where you need to throw the ball 65 yards on a rope. Right. Everything else is 5 to 40 yards. And he can make all of those throws, and he doesn't miss. He is the most accurate quarterback in the class. He has the best intangibles in the class, along with Cam Ward. I do like Cam Ward's intangibles. And he is amazing in the pocket. He lives in the pocket. He prefers to play in the pocket. All of the other stuff will come. The progressions will come. Kevin Stefanski will help him with the progressions and make it easy on him. I expect big things from Shedeur, but the NFL was trying to teach him a lesson, and Prime could have done better.
Two things I want to hit, because I want to kind of summarize both what you said. I completely agree with what you said. And to piggyback off that, if y'all look at Stunna's jersey, right at the top, right at the colors, that shield, Shedeur thinks he's a star. It's 8 stars on the NFL shield for a reason. Yes, sir. Because you're just one of them now. Yes, sir. You're just a part of the shield.
Michael Penix is one of the others.
Hello. Yeah, listen, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Like, yeah, you were a star. Yeah, everyone here was a star at some point. But 2, you mentioned, I think, Teddy Bridgewater pre-injury. I saw him as Geno Smith. Like, at worst. I feel like if you drafted him to be Seahawks Geno Smith, it's like, okay, would you draft that quarterback? Absolutely. Plenty of teams would take a quarterback like that. Because like what you said, Like, yeah, a big arm gets you drafted. They bench Anthony Richardson not because his arm got smaller.
Right.
It's because you couldn't keep the offense on schedule. Right. And I think Shedeur is someone who can keep your offense on schedule, hit intermediate good throws, and get the ball into the hands of the playmaker. Cleveland Browns that we talked about drafted a running back. Wasn't a running back on Ohio State. Judkins, right? Mm-hmm. Drafted Judkins. We've never seen him with a good running game. We've never seen Shedeur surrounded. Like, I know you mentioned Colorado's talent. I don't feel like we've ever seen Shedeur surrounded with comparable talent at all three levels on offense. Like we talk about how he held the ball. Yeah, a lot of it, and the people, their response is, he's trying to create plays. In the NFL, is he going to try to create plays, or is he going to try to create offense? Is he going to try to just keep you on schedule, be the accurate quarterback, get the ball in the end zone? If he does that, I think he can be successful.
And the thing about him creating plays and having to press is you have to realize their defense was never that
trying to win the
great.
game.
He was trying to win games.
Yeah.
He was looking at this like, yo, I got the best player in the country next to me, and I'm the best quarterback in the country. Yep. It's on us. Yeah. Like, if I can't get something done here, we're not going to lose. He felt like, and he said this, he was like, we got to score on every possession. Yeah. So when you feel like that, you're not going to take that throwaway. You're going to try to get out of that. The coaches in Cleveland are going to get him to understand, yo, on that other side of that ball, that's Myles Garrett over there, boy. That's the defensive tackle they just drafted over there. That's Mason Graham. That's Denzel Ward over there. You good, bro. Like, relax.
Yeah.
You know D'Anthony Bell played for the Browns?
Yeah. Shout out to D'Anthony Bell.
Shout out to COV, man. Shout out to Stephon Casseron, Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, Stephon Casseron.
Nigga, what you talking about?
Don't worry, we'll talk about basketball in a second because we got Stunna here. But just to wrap up football, I think we got just a couple more things. Yeah. Deion Sanders, greatest athlete ever. A couple minutes on that. What do we think?
No.
Who do you think it is?
Like, are we talking about pure athleticism? Or are we talking about like being like, what are we actually talking about?
I would say
your athleticism.
Okay. Let's do it by categories we did earlier. So I'm gonna say pure athleticism. What you did with your athleticism, and like how are you regarded in your field with your athleticism? Like Deion Sanders, yeah, is he maybe the most athletic corner ever? Yes, but he's also the best corner ever. Like, DK Metcalf is a better athlete than 99% of wide receivers, but he wasn't peak wide receiver.
But you wouldn't say Deion Sanders is the best football player of all time, though.
Maybe you can make that argument.
Nobody can make that argument.
Yes,
that's not an argument.
I would argue.
There's no living being besides you two that would make that argument.
So let me change the question. Do you think he has a case as best defender ever?
No.
See, that's where I just
It's not even close.
I think he has a solid case.
He has no
defender.
case.
I think Deion Sanders is.
Who are you?
There's only one person with a case, and it's Lawrence Taylor.
Okay, so
is Deion Sanders even above Aaron Donald? No.
Yes.
Stop it.
Deion
All pros in 9 seasons.
Deion Sanders was so good. He won a Super Bowl. The team that couldn't get to the Super Bowl traded for him. Won the Super Bowl because they traded for him. Deion Sanders.
But we're not gonna act like they didn't. We're not gonna act like they weren't who they were as well, though.
But they couldn't get past Deion. They only lost to him, but they could not get through that.
But they lost to the 40. No, they lost to the
Cowboys.
To the Cowboys.
But why? Because Deion was
not the only reason, though.
But think about it. Like Deion went from covering Jerry Rice to now he's covering Michael Irvin.
If I take Jalen Carter off of the Eagles and put him on the Chiefs, does that make him the best defensive player in the league? If they win the Super Bowl next year?
If he's the main reason,
I don't think Deion was the main. Like, I don't think he was the main reason. I think he was a big part of.
I feel like he put them over the top.
He's like the icing on the cake. He's not the cake.
No, see, but that's the thing. You can't eat that cake because Michael Irvin gonna fry your secondary.
You can eat the cake without the icing.
But that's the thing. And I think what gives Deion such a great case was in his era where he was winning. You had to have a cover corner like Deion because you had Jerry Rice and Joe Montana in their prime.
I would argue that he's the greatest corner of all time. I don't think there's an argument for. I don't. Think
this would be my thing. Lawrence Taylor. They say like peak Lawrence Taylor, pure unblockable. In that, listen, Lawrence Taylor is Lawrence Taylor. At worst, he's like you were nitpicking because they're at the top.
Right.
Deion, you can argue he's probably the only person that actually covered one side of the field. Like there were the entire side of the field, whether he actually covered them or not, because Richard Sherman did this to your boy Aaron Rodgers. A team being so scared to run plays on your side is so much different than not being able to be blocked, I feel like.
And by the way, I would like you to know that Deion Sanders made the All-Pro 9 times in 11 seasons, made the Pro Bowl damn near every year he played. He is almost...
How many defensive player of the years does he have? Because we're going to look up Aaron Donald's too now.
He doesn't. I don't know how many defensive players. I don't think he has a defensive player of the year. But that was not a corner award back then. That's not something they give awards.
It's still not a corner
award. That's
a
defensive lineman award. So
Aaron Donald got 8 All-Pro, 8 first-team All-Pros, 10 Pro Bowls, and 3 defensive player of the year. And
That's
Super
right.
Bowl.
Yeah, but
It's like
okay. Let me ask you this: you think Aaron Donald's above Von Miller?
yes,
See,
yes.
But the thing with Prime, I think
Aaron Donald.
No, he is. He's above Von Miller.
I think you're. I think
As a matter of fact, let me go through the list of people who I have above Deion on defense.
Okay.
Lawrence Taylor.
Yep.
Aaron Donald.
Yep.
Reggie White. Deion got an argument for fourth. Deion has an argument for fourth.
I think you're crazy.
And I feel like it comes with personal preference because I don't know if I'm taking Deion Sanders over Ed Reed if I'm starting the football team.
You're crazy.
I don't know if I'm taking.
You're out of your mind.
I don't know if I'm taking.
I will say, I think you're part of the reason we feel like this way is because I think a corner is more important. I think a shutdown corner is more important than a really good left tackle because you can. And this goes back to his. I said left tackle. I'm sorry. I just said left tackle because I was thinking Lawrence Taylor LT. It was too much in my head. I'm sorry.
So you think a shutdown corner is
more important than a great defensive line?
Fuck no.
It's more important than one great defensive lineman, not as a unit.
This is why I say this.
This is why I say this. Listen, because we've seen Micah Parsons.
Right.
We've seen Joey Bosa.
Right.
Fuck, we've seen Aaron Donald get taken out of games because we can run our entire offense away from your side of the field. And with Prime, if you run your offensive way, you run your entire offense and I shut down the left side of the field, so your quarterback is only looking this way. I have 10 people guarding half a football field. That is a better advantage and helps my defense more than a great defensive lineman having to be double teamed.
All right, so how do you explain Deion's first season in Atlanta then? Because we weren't a Super Bowl contender when he was shutting down half of the field then too.
Because the defense wasn't great and the team wasn't great.
Okay then, but my whole thing is
there's been bad defensive linemen on bad.
Myles Garrett might be one of the best defensive lines ever, and they stink.
Yeah,
did their defense stink last year?
No, but
their team stunk. Their defense though.
No, but they have great personnel all around.
But what I'm saying is,
Micah Parsons was great last year. The Cowboys' defense was terrible.
It's easier for a great edge rusher or defensive lineman, pass rusher, to impact the game than it is for a quarterback.
See,
wait.
I could easily, especially if you don't travel.
Deion traveled.
He did. I'm saying like in current day terms, because it's not a lot of quarters that travel today.
That's true.
I could easily send my worst wide receiver to the right side of the field. Let my best.
But we talking about Deion. We're not talking about every other player.
But this is my point. Like you say, it's easier for you to get that impact out of a D-line. I feel like it's harder to track a great defensive back's impact just with the stats.
Exactly.
Because you got to take into account the people. We spent a week preparing for Deion and the Falcons. Nothing on the left side this week. There's nothing in the box score that talks about, man, my quarterback loves to go here. We just can't do it this week.
But this is interesting we talking about this because I was just watching something about the Falcons draft. They was talking about James Pearson. They said when you have somebody like who's a great edge rusher, that will throw off like everything. Like that, that will throw off like the timing of the offense.
1,000%.
My progressions will be slower because I'm thinking about, all right, did he just jump off the line quick enough, or is he kicking my left tackle's ass? Like that's really important.
But how tough you think the progressions are when you can't look to the side of the field?
I think it's easier. It's easier to game plan against a great corner than it is a great pass rusher.
See, that's where I disagree. Because we talk about how great Aaron Donald was. Aaron Donald went like 4 years without a sack in the playoffs. But when you look at some of the greatest defenses of this generation,
right?
They don't have a great defensive lineman.
They
all have great corners.
Name them.
The 2014 Patriots.
2014 Patriots,
the Brandon Browner, Devin McCourty. That's what I think is the best Patriot defense. And we were a secondary driven team. We had good
defense. The 2013 Seahawks.
Okay,
the 2000 Ravens.
Respect Michael Bennett.
You didn't even know his name.
I do know his name.
Listen, as good as Michael Bennett is, and to your credit, in that Super Bowl, he was never blocked. Richard Sherman was far more impactful and a better player.
You can't name a corner on that 2000 Ravens team either. You said they were a great defense.
McAllister. I don't know. I didn't.
First name. Give me his first name. I need a first name.
Ed Reed was on that
It was
team.
Chris McAllister. Ed Reed was on that team. Chris McAllister,
Ed
all right?
Reed was on that team.
No. Chris McAllister.
I gotta
right?
take that out the pot.
Listen, Chris McAllister. I got one.
Yeah,
but
it was Chris McAllister.
like when we go through, and I kind of do it with defensive backs, just especially because football is different back then. So Deion was playing safety a little bit back then, just kind of defense. But you look at the champions like Darrell Reeves, one with the Patriots, Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed, Richard Sherman, Chris Harris on the Broncos, Whit Von Miller,
Aqib
Talib. Like having an amazing D lineman is.
But I feel like we got to separate.
Not even like having an Aaron Donald, right?
Right.
Even if I have an Aaron Donald, you know who I need?
Who?
Von Miller.
No, you don't.
You did need him though. Like that's the thing. Aaron Donald needed Von Miller because without Von Miller, he can't be as impactful.
Even if you say Deion is better than Aaron Donald, if that's the way you want to go, Deion isn't better than Lawrence Taylor.
We don't have to have an argument. I'm not mad at that.
Okay.
I'm not having that argument.
And
Lawrence Taylor is the way people talk about Lawrence Taylor is how people talk about Michael Jordan.
Okay, let me ask you. Okay, let me say this.
So I don't need to have an argument. It's
Lawrence Taylor, better defensive player. I will not. You know, bygones be bygones. We can agree to disagree. Athlete, Lawrence Taylor didn't play baseball.
No. I'm not saying he was a better athlete. What my question was when we were talking about Deion being the greatest athlete.
Yeah.
He said y'all said
position like in your sport. Yeah.
And I was like, he's not the greatest athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not the greatest football player.
Right.
So I feel like if you're gonna talk about greatest athlete of all time, you got to say like LeBron because he's number 2 at all time in his sport.
But I don't think LeBron, man, let's say per athlete, I mean, maybe. Like, that's LeBron.
No, LeBron and Prime were my two answers. Yeah. Those are my two.
I don't know if I have Deion in them.
Deion's the only person.
Who else are you saying?
That's the thing. Deion, like, we did all it. Like, we really debated. Is he better than Lawrence Taylor, the best defensive player ever? And he led the Braves to the fucking World Series.
First of all, he didn't lead the Braves.
He was going to win the MVP if they won, though.
He was not.
Yes, he was.
Deion Sanders never made an All-Star game as a baseball player. He's very overrated.
Listen, you can win World Series MVP and not would be All-Star.
He could have. My whole thing is there is an athlete that some people think was a mythical creature.
Which one?
You have to say Wilt Chamberlain's name in it.
That's
we don't.
Okay, that's fair.
No, we don't.
He's
that's
7
fair.
foot and ran a 4.4.
If the Wilt stories are true, yes.
Look,
yes.
You didn't see none of that shit. Take him out of this.
We didn't see Deion.
I ain't gonna lie.
You can go watch Deion.
You didn't see Deion run a 4.1.
Yes, I did.
No, there's no video of Deion running a 4.1, but I have seen video of Wilt Chamberlain blocking the skyhook. There is video of him blocking a skyhook.
I think Wilt Chamberlain. They said Wilt Chamberlain could have been the greatest volleyball player of all time.
No. Wilt Chamberlain was the greatest volleyball player ever. He was the greatest volleyball player ever. He just didn't do it often. He was the great. Like if Wilt Chamberlain existed, he was easily the number one.
Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in basketball.
But he didn't do that. But anyways, name somebody else that you actually watched and that wasn't in black and white.
Bo Jackson.
Michael Jordan.
No, he's not more athletic than Prime. Not a bad athlete than Prime.
Michael Jordan was a shit baseball player.
Michael Jordan, and he was a shitty baseball player.
But if we're talking about pure athleticism and being at the top of their game, Michael Jordan was 6'6" and ran a 4.3, a 4.4.
All right, what's Westbrook? Like we just talk. That's what I'm saying. I'm not just talking like.
But like we said, we talk about like their position in the sport they play plus their athleticism. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time.
I agree, but him being shit at baseball kind of cancels that out.
Yes.
Because Deion wasn't bad at basketball.
He was a bad
baseball player. And again, I want you to know.
We didn't watch Michael Jordan play baseball when he was 21, 22. He was like 33 years old.
People say that Deion Sanders is the best football player ever. Like I have watched people that played in the NFL say this. I've watched people that played in the NFL say this.
I need names.
Shannon Sharp has said this. Brian Clark has said this. Jerry Rice has said this.
I've heard Shannon Sharp talk about Lawrence Taylor and say the same thing though.
No, and that's my point. They're right. They're just right there.
Yeah.
Like you can have your preference, but I'm saying you acting like Prime isn't in these conversations, and I'm like, you're crazy to think that when the niggas that watched him play with him are his peers. I'm like, yes, he is.
If you want Bill Belichick, yeah, and where was he?
32. No, he was like 24 or some shit like
that.
No.
No, when they do they didn't do it in order when they did the positions. They did it just by the position group.
No, they just did it 1 to 100. And he was like number 25 because I remember him getting mad and saying,
yeah, no, but the niggas they had above him was like Otto Graham and shit like that. Like,
hey, Otto, shout out to Otto.
Nobody thinks Otto Graham is the best quarterback.
Shout
ever.
out to UGA legend Fran.
Like think about what you said earlier. You was like,
shut up,
most corners today don't travel.
Right.
Like, and Deion, listen.
I feel like there is a better athlete that played corner than Deion.
Rod Woodson?
No.
He's going to say Champ Bailey.
Well, he would be the second one.
Who?
Darryl Green.
Yeah, but Darryl Green wasn't a technical master like Deion
Darryl
was.
Green ran a 4.2 at 40 years old.
Darryl Green may have been a better athlete.
I'm saying pure athleticism.
Pure athlete, for sure. But that goes into the third point. Like, where were you in your sport? Like, relative.
Deion really better than Asante Samuel?
Yes.
Hey, bro, let's get to basketball.
Listen, as a Patriots fan, actually, we didn't talk about this on the show.
Is Deion better than Deuce?
Asante Samuel, I wanted to take
Atlanta Falcons
this 40 seconds to say that as a Patriots fan, we don't fuck with you. You cost us a 19-0 season. We don't fuck with you, Asante. You are a choker. A perfect season hit you in between your thumbs and you dropped it. Never talk about Deion again. I'd shoot you into the sun if we could have had Deion on that team. Are you crazy? The nerve of Asante Samuel.
Asante, I ain't gonna let him play with your name like that. You did great things in Atlanta, my boy.
I'm glad he hooped in Atlanta because he didn't hoop in New England.
I appreciate you, Killer.
What would kill me is like Asante Samuel talk like he the best New England corner ever. Asante Samuel is in a top 4 New England corner. He wouldn't make top 4. He might not be top 5.
You're nuts, buddy.
Ty Law, Darrell Revis.
How long was Darrell Revis even there?
2 years, won a Super Bowl. I mean,
did Asante Samuel not win a Super Bowl with y'all?
He lost. He dropped his only chance to win a Super Bowl.
Let me see if Asante.
He was on the Eagles. He was on the Eagles when we beat him because he's a choker. Then he came to New England, lost again, dropped a game winning.
Asante Samuel is a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
What years? Were they with us?
Yeah.
Which ones?
The ones in the early 2000s. He was drafted in 2003.
3 and 4?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was okay. All right, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. I give him that.
He's top 5 now.
Yeah,
you lost.
No. I don't think. I still don't think he's top 4. I still don't think he's top 4.
All right, let's move on to basketball.
He's not better than Stephon Gilmore.
Great. No, he's not. Great conversation. We're killing
Defensive player of the year, Stephon Gilmore.
All right. Warriors just lost to the Rockets by 30. It doesn't matter. It was one of them game 5s where you're going to lose.
Many times had 5 steals in the first half. I don't know what he finished with.
25.
He had 25?
Oh, my bad. 25 points, sorry. But, yeah, the Warriors, we can wait till that series ends.
25 steals.
I still think the Warriors win that series.
5 steals, 3 blocks.
Okay.
Damn. I love that
3
kid.
blocks is crazy.
I love that kid.
Going off on the tangent because of the conversation we just had. I remember when he was going into the draft, somebody said that he was the greatest athlete they ever seen on the basketball court.
Maybe.
I saw him. I tweet this every time I see him play. I saw him play at OTE when I was watching him, and I said, that boy, he didn't look like he belonged on the court. Yeah. It, like how they talk about Michael Jordan looked like he was before his time. That's how he looked on the court. He just looked like he was out there with little boys.
Like they said, he was literally like the greatest athlete they ever scouted.
That's crazy. He is special. He's like really special.
If he ever gets a jump shot or consistent from the free throw line, it's ugly.
Because he knows how to play basketball too. Like he's having a struggle trying to figure out the playoff basketball, but like just day to day regular season basketball, he understands the game.
We should be
ever put the ball in his hands as a point guard.
Yes. When they trade Jalen Green in 2 months, yes. Just wait.
I think they will because if they want what's best for their team, they should.
Yeah.
Especially with the way, think about the guards in the West. You got Shea to deal with, Ant to deal with, Luka to deal with.
He'll guard them regardless if he's on the court. But like, do y'all think he will ever be like the league?
That's the thing. I think he would be far more effective if he was 6'7" Rondo on steroids. Yeah. Like, all right, if you're not going to shoot, at least give him the ball. Let him initiate all the offense so he's just not, like, cutting and doing all the nasty stuff the whole game.
And to piggyback off of that, the Rockets are better if a 6'7" starting point guard is their smallest person in the lineup. Right. Or he makes a small 2-guard better if he's the point guard. Okay. I think the Rockets are just a better team if they find a way to put him in that guard position.
Should trade
that's why I think
so what y'all think they going to do with Reed Shepherd?
Backup? Reed Shepherd is a backup point guard in NBA.
People
he cold. People think he cold.
The Hawks wanted to draft him number 1 last year.
Listen, nothing the Hawks does ever.
This is gonna sound fake to y'all.
Go ahead.
But I swear to God, I'm being 100% honest.
Okay.
The Hawks thought he was Steph Curry last year when they drafted him. I mean, when he was in the draft.
I bet. Listen, the Hawks think a lot of shit.
They say they compare him to Patrick Mahomes on the football field.
Yeah, no. Listen, the Hawks.
You're asking. I'm not in the Hawks.
Listen, the Hawks drafted DeAndre Hunter top 4.
Hey, respect. He's a winning piece to the Cavs right now. Yeah. Respect Dre Day. Yeah, Dre Day ain't gonna let him play with your name, baby.
Listen. He was drafted as the 2nd best player on the team.
You know what I'm saying? Baby Kawhi. It's cool.
Yeah, he gonna be Baby Kawhi for a minute.
He'll never be older than him. That's the only reason.
Let's get to the
Kawhi would be baby DeAndre Hunter if he was older. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to Dre Day.
Let's get to the Wolves and Lakers, man. How did y'all feel about JJ's Redick decision to play his starters the entire second half?
I fuck with it personally. As a nigga who played 2K without fatigue, anyway, like not playing, but I thought as a coaching move it was questionable, but as a morale move, you cannot do it. Do not do it. And do not ever do something like that this early in the series.
Thank you.
Because everyone is like, LeBron's gonna be tired and look at the schedule. My thought was, how do you walk into the locker room with LeBron and Luka both giving you, I think they had 70 combined. They played every minute second half. You lost. What do you tell your team after that? We just did everything. We just emptied the clip on these niggas. Ant played amazing, but it wasn't like Julius Randle was still on fire. Like, everyone kind of hit shots. They stayed in it. And at the end, Ant was just better in late game situation than the Lakers were. But if I play my starters the entire second half and we lose, it's like, man, I played the deuce of diamond and the nigga cut me. It's like, we don't have any more tricks. Like, you gonna play the whole game next? Like,
I honestly just think the Timberwolves were the worst matchup the Lakers could get because they're too long and athletic.
Stunna, thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
They're too big and too athletic, and they're not backing down from. It's gonna sound crazy. Mm-hmm. I could definitely see the Timberwolves getting to the finals this year. If Julius Randle keep playing how he's been playing,
does not sound crazy.
I mean, they were the conference finals last year
because they have. If OKC beats Denver, they have three defenders to throw at Shea all game, and Ant, Jaden, and Nikhil.
And Rudy Gobert.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to try to get to the paint.
Yeah. Let's hold that, because that's exactly where I wanted to go after I answered this Laker question. Stay on the Lakers playing their whole starters first, because you're right, but I stay on that first.
I just don't think it's nothing to... Unless LeBron going to turn back the clock.
One more 3-1 for the ages.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, ratings down. Niggas needed one more 3-1.
First of all, LeBron is 40, and this roster is not constructed to win around Luka.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you gonna do?
You're caught in the middle.
You're literally caught in the middle.
And so my point with the JJ Redick playing his starters the entire second half sent a message to his team. I don't really trust y'all.
And the bench ass. That's what you think.
I don't really trust the rest of you 7 guys to provide any production to a playoff win. Right. So I would rather just you not play.
And Austin Reeves was playing ass.
I would rather a tired, bad Austin Reeves on the court than I would you, Gabe Vincent. Yeah. That's the message it sent to me. LeBron sat down at like 6 minutes left in the second quarter, and came back in and did not come out the rest of the game.
Yeah, which is crazy.
That's insane, bro.
Like, I get it. Like, you're not supposed to do that, but
that's my king.
Who in the fuck is he supposed to put in the game?
Gabe Vincent.
My nigga,
who the fuck is he supposed to put
in the game? My nigga, like, he had...
is he going to put Jared Vanderbilt in the game?
No, they had multiple 10-point leads.
See, but that's the thing. When the other team is playing Nickeil Alexander-Walker, like, it's not like they playing the Celtics. Like,
it's like Nickeil can hoop though.
So can Gabe Vincent.
Gabe Vincent has had better playoff games than Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yes.
Gabe Vincent has seen playoff.
2025 now. We're not talking about if he can turn back the clock and be Gabe Vincent. He was.
But look, I don't even need to turn back the clock. Run around for 2 minutes.
But this is my thing, Stunna. You are right to be saying this as a nigga that watches basketball. JJ Redick is the head coach. Yeah, he has to think about the consequences to the decision he is about to make. And not only does JJ have to think about that, the entire coaching staff should have said, JJ, take these niggas out. Yeah. If he wanted to leave Braun, Luka, and Reeves in the entire half, wouldn't even been mad. This wouldn't be a story. Right. But the fact he left Dorian Finney-Smith and Rui out there, didn't play Jackson Hayes, Alex Lynn, Dalton Connect, Max Kleber, didn't play nobody.
Max Kleber, who's seen playoff minutes.
Like, and he's playing tonight. I just got the message, but like, the fact that none of them played is just showing you I don't trust y'all. It shows you I don't really think we're good enough to beat this team. Because the Timberwolves played their exact minutes. The Timberwolves played their exact minutes, their team. They play their regular rotation. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. They played their regular rotation, their regular minutes, and didn't go overboard. He didn't play 47 minutes or nothing like that. And they won the game playing their way, which means that the Lakers are the team having to do all of the adjustments in the series, which means just like what we're saying, like they're just behind the 8 ball. I agree with you that the Lakers are not good enough to win this series unless Luka and Bron just turn into something we ain't seen from them this year. Right. I agree with that point. But as a coach, you can't just throw in the towel in game 4, bro. Like you can't just.
But that's like when you're down 2-1. That's a decisive game. We have to win this game.
But. That's my thing. That's exactly why I'm saying you are in a game you have to win, and you don't play none of your bench for an entire half. And that is my point. That's showing your bench. I don't think y'all are good enough to win. Well, that's my point.
The season's finna be over.
I'm not saying nothing you saying wrong.
But the season's finna be over anyway. So why do they feelings matter at this point? Anyway?
I do agree.
I would have played LeBron and Luka 48 minutes. Fuck it.
I agree to a certain extent, but at the same time, you're the higher seed.
But you were still down 2-1 in that situation, and you had already lost home court.
Yeah, but
so you have to win game 4 in that situation.
But now I don't think you can win game 5. I don't think
you probably can't. Lord, but what's your scratch? You probably can't. But
they winning 44 with 41 right now. The Timberwolves are up. Sorry.
I feel like even as a coach, like I have to go down with my biggest guns. I don't trust you niggas. Why am I putting y'all in a pivotal game that's going to swing this series?
This is going to end the argument, bro. There is a reason no coach has done this ever in history. There is a reason no coach since the 70s has ever done this.
That's fact.
Because it does not make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. No, and I'm not saying he should have done that, but I'm saying I can see the thinking.
Yeah.
Y'all say y'all hit it right on the head. I don't trust you other people.
Okay.
So why am I putting y'all in a basketball game we have to win?
But if it makes you feel better, I think doing this in this game ends any chance of them winning a championship either way.
Me too.
Even if you win this game, I don't think you can seriously think, think about it, bro. We're in the first round and you're playing these niggas the entire second half. That shit. What you gonna do next round?
It's game 4 of the first round, my nigga.
Like,
we ain't even went back to LA yet.
Yeah, no.
Bro. All right, but Luka. Yeah. Does this series change how you are viewing Luka, how you look at him?
No, not really.
Like I said, they're built terribly around. They have no rim protection.
And I think, especially coming off last season, that's what's so frustrating about the Kyrie-Luka thing is Kyrie got traded mid-season a couple years ago, and, it didn't, they missed the playoffs. They crashed and burned in doing those trades. Then the next year, you bring in Gafford, you bring in Lively, they play one full season, they get to the finals. The next year, you trade Luka. He had, I feel like we saw a serious period where, okay, this is what a team built around Luka can look like.
Right.
You get a great scoring second option, you get a couple good bigs who can run, dunk, and protect him, and then you will have a base offense. Right now, what's killing the Lakers is they're just so terribly constructed. The Lakers start 3 power forwards, and no one can guard Julius Randle. You played 3 power forwards, 48 minutes, and none of them played power forward. Rui's supposed to be a power forward, not a power forward. Luka, 6'8", not a power forward. LeBron, 6'8", not a power forward. They have shooters. 40. Who's a power forward? They have 19 power forwards, and none of them can play power forward. The roster is ridiculous. Gabe Vincent is your starting point guard. Gabe Vincent not your backup point guard. Nobody on that team is a great two-way player. And we coined this phrase 7, 8. We've been doing the show for so long. There's just Cavs West. Yeah. They're just Cavs West, bro. They're LeBron and friends, and we don't have no money to do anything. We don't have anybody we can bring in because everything we've done, we did for LeBron already. So
precisely, I will say it changes how I view Luka because last year I said multiple times after Luka had a regular season where he averaged 34, 9, and 9, was a top 4 seed in the West, and then got to the playoffs and averaged 34, 10, and 9.
Yep.
And went to the NBA Finals, I was saying Luka Doncic is the best player in the world.
Right.
Everybody was saying Jokic. I was like, Luka is the best player in the world because Luka, they're A++ offensively. Defensively, Jokic is more of a liability because you can't hide a center on defense. You can hide Luka on defense. And Luka has the I'm here to kill factor. Yeah. I still haven't seen that from Jokic yet.
Right.
Jokic is going to play great basketball. Jokic is going to will his team for victory. But I have not seen Jokic for 5 minutes be like, give me the rock. Yeah. You're not stopping me. I've seen Luka do that in the regular season, first game.
He's done it a million times now.
Always, that's Luka's mindset. Yeah. So I had him as the best player in the world. After the season, after I've watched him, he is at 5 for me at best.
5?
At 5. I have
5?
Jokic.
5 is crazy.
Jokic, Giannis, Ant, Shea, And I'm really thinking about putting Tatum right there.
I wish I had a table I could flip over.
I'm really thinking about putting Tatum right there.
What?
So he's at 5 or 6 for me because all of those guys I just named. Jokic, I don't have to talk about. Giannis has been 30, 12, and 6 for 5 straight years. In the playoffs, he's been 34, 15, and 6 for 2-3 straight years. Anthony Edwards, you see it. Everybody's talking about why is this Anthony Edwards hype coming out of nowhere? He hasn't done it. Anthony Edwards is 23. Yeah. That's why. That's why you don't have no accolades or nothing to build off of. He's 23. Yeah. We know what we're watching. He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA and one of the 10 best offensive players in the NBA and one of the 5 best three-point shooters in the NBA. Give me Anthony Edwards. And the leader he is, the way he galvanizes his teams, give me that all day. Shea, self-explanatory MVP, 30 a game for the past 2 years, and his team has been the number 1 seed for the past 2 years, so he's impacting winning on a greater level because he doesn't have a Kyrie Irving or LeBron James next to him. And then Jason Tatum has been 27, 7, and 7 since he came into the league damn near. This playoff series since he came back from the wrist, he's averaging 36, 10, and 8. He's finna repeat. He won a championship last year. We keep having this conversation about Luka because he get 34, 10, and 10. But are you impacting winning on a greater level? He's not.
Let me ask, so why is Giannis up there?
I was going to say, do you follow Giannis for losing?
Not even. Giannis has been first round 3 straight times in the easier conference and just lost to a 8th seed. We don't even think the play-in should be a thing, and he lost to a play-in team.
I'm glad you said that, Twin, because I don't think Giannis top 5 either. That was my next point. That was my next point.
That said his name, though.
That was my next point. Oh, yeah, I did that to trick y'all, nigga. I'm potting. What the fuck? I'm potting, my nigga.
So who's your top 5, then?
My top 5 is Jokic. Jokic is number 1. Shea is number 2. Ant is number 3. Tatum is number 4, and I'll throw Giannis at 5. I'll give Giannis the nod at 5 over Luka because of defense.
This is my thing. This is my thing with Luka.
Y'all can't tell me anything about Luka other than he creates great offense in a way that doesn't win championships, and nobody has won a championship before in history. He plays heliocentric basketball, high pick and roll all game. It didn't work with Kobe, didn't work with James Harden, didn't work with LeBron. It has worked with nobody. But because he put up number in a way where every great player has put up great numbers, we like, oh, he's so good. But he does not impact winning on a larger scale as those players I named before him.
This is why I disagree.
He lost. He got played off the floor.
No. Well, first of all, Boston played everyone off the floor that entire year. Yeah, by that definition, Giannis is a liability on defense because they blew the doors off Milwaukee too. Boston, I will give you one. The finals was a bad look more than anything. But do I think he played bad defense in the finals? Yes. Was the Celtics offense overwhelming for anyone who played it? Absolutely. But this is where I disagree on the style of play is Luka has shown he can play high-level playoff basketball with someone that can help him as opposed to SGA. I love SGA, but we have seen Luka is at worst one of the best playoff risers we have ever seen, and just sent SGA home when they were the 1 seed last year.
But SGA didn't have a Kyrie Irving next to him. That was SGA's first run. That was SGA's team's first run as well. The Mavericks had a better team last year. The Mavericks, similar to the Warriors this year and similar to the Lakers this year, the Mavericks early in the year from October to January were not the Mavericks from February to April. Yeah. So I don't think that the seeding in that situation really is applicable because if the Mavericks had that team from the jump, they were on a first seed pace.
No, but see, that's where it's not fair because you just said that was OKC's first run. The Mavs had played 40 games with that line. They were still getting better as that playoffs went. They were getting to the finals with a negative player starting in Tim Hardaway. By the time they got to the finals, he wasn't even playing. They were still figuring out things. I love Shea, but until he starts putting some pelts on the wall, I think he needs to slow down the Luka conversations because like, if we want to say Luka can't beat this Boston Celtics team because he doesn't play good enough defense, fucking yeah, nobody can. Everybody in the NBA that applies to. Right. But I've seen Luka walk into buildings versus teams who thought they would win a championship and cut the lights off. Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, all in different cities because Luka cut the lights off on a team we thought would compete for a decade. The Timberwolves this year look like they could go to the finals. Luka and Kyrie cut the lights off on them niggas. OKC last year could have won the championship last year. Easy.
No, they could not have. OKC was not a championship team last year. Last year, Anthony Edwards was 22. It was his first real playoff experience, and he was noticeably tired on the court. The thing about Luka is, and this is my biggest point, and Stunna getting here after this, Luka, the player Luka was 2 years ago is the player Luka is today. Shea has gotten better since then. Tatum has gotten better since then. Jokic has gotten better since then. I don't think Giannis has gotten better since then. I think Giannis has been about the same player since he won that championship. And Anthony Edwards has gotten better since then. So when I'm looking and I'm projecting into the future and I'm saying, who would I rather have for the next 10 years? I'm taking all 5 of those guys before Luka because I haven't seen anything from Luka that shows me he's going to change the style of play that has never worked in NBA history. And I can't get behind that. And y'all are going to be screaming for the next 6-7 years. Look at the numbers. He's a playoff riser. Yes, he rises in the playoffs because he's amazing, but he has the ball in his hands all the time. And if he doesn't have the ball in his hand, he's not impactful on offense. So I do think that's a problem. Now, I don't like that in my NBA. I don't like that in the guys I want leading my team. I like how Ant gets his within the flow of an offense, and it keeps everyone else involved. Same for Shea, same for Jokic. Jokic is bringing everybody along with him. I don't think people are going to want to sit in the corner and watch Luka shoot. And then you have a superstar next to him like a Kyrie who just cooks alongside him. And player, what's that? 3 on down to 12, all you can do is catch lobs or shoot threes. I don't think that's a sustainable way to win championships and to keep a team happy throughout a season.
See, this is where I disagree.
And no, it hasn't worked. See, no, I have proof of that.
See, this is where I disagree. First,
wait, let's start.
Go ahead. First.
All right, so couple things. Number one, it sounds like you're blaming Luka for the way the Lakers are built right now. You know
I'm not.
There's no way you thought he was the best player in the world last season. He didn't get no better, didn't get no worse, and you dropped him all the way to 6th.
Yes, there is, because the things that I've seen from Luka the past...
What did Jason Tatum get better at this year?
Jason Tatum is a better processor. Jason Tatum takes better shots.
His
Jason Tatum has... Jason Tatum's efficiency rose this year. Okay, that's
now, if you flop them right now, who's in a better position, the Celtics or the Lakers?
I don't know if you want me to answer that question.
The rosters? Like the teams?
If you flip Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic, who's in a better position right now, the Lakers or the Celtics?
I think did Jason Tatum get traded in February, or did they?
Tatum got traded
off season. No, off season. They had a whole off season to get the offense installed. JJ Redick. Listen, they told JJ Redick a couple weeks before.
Which team would go farther in their conference?
Does Kyrie stay healthy and all of that?
Jason Tatum.
Kyrie does not play on the Lakers.
Yeah, we're talking about if Jason Tatum.
So I'm confused.
Today,
Jason Tatum is on the Lakers.
Today.
Yeah,
with LeBron James.
Yes.
And Luka Doncic is in Boston with that roster.
Yeah.
Who has a better team?
The Lakers and Celtics are going to the finals.
You're crazy, bro.
What?
The Lakers will be what?
I don't think y'all understand how good Jason Tatum is.
No, see this.
He's not better than Luka.
No, this is why I disagree.
Yes,
Hold on, let me jump in.
Yes.
Like you mentioned how Jason Tatum and Anthony Edwards can get theirs in the flow of the offense. They have the luxury of it being an offense.
Hey, Flo, they have a
like
Luka can have that luxury. Luka plays in a style.
With who?
Luka has played with Jalen Brunson and Kyrie Irving,
and they both arrived. They went to the finals. No, this is my thing.
And he lost.
Because he played a better
They
team
lost to
that
the
happened.
Celtics. That's the thing. Everyone
That was a
lost.
historic Celtic team.
And
last
again,
year.
if Luka, I can make the argument that if Luka,
Which other top 5 players that would have beat the Celtics last year? If you replace Luka off the Mavericks with that top 5,
hold on. Listen, first off, I don't think anybody would have beat the Celtics last year.
Okay. So what are we talking
because
about?
Listen, I do think the Mavericks had the personnel and the team to beat the Celtics. I want people to stop acting like this series was just an automatic Celtics win and no one was picking. No, Ish picked the Mavericks. It was people on TV picking the Mavericks.
The Celtics were heavy.
They were heavy favorites.
Sure, but you picked the Mavericks, and multiple people I spoke to and watched on TV picked the Mavericks to win that series.
Why?
Because Luka is good at basketball.
But
what was proven in that series is when you face a team with great personnel, you can't play that style of basketball to win, which is my point. So yes, Luka can get you to a height of the finals, but the way Luka plays basketball will not win you a finals. I think if Anthony Edwards gets to a finals with the way he plays basketball, he will win it. I have seen Jason Tatum win a finals. I have seen Jokic win a finals. I have seen Greek win a finals because of the style they play. I think Shea, with the style he plays, can win a finals because in history, that style has won. In history, the style Luka plays has never won. There's been people that's gotten close to the finals.
What style?
What style does Shea play?
Shea plays within an offense.
Shea has the ball as much as Luka.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does.
No, he does not. Shea plays within the confines of the OKC offense.
He is the offense.
Shea creates for himself, and he gives time for other people to score. But Shea also plays. He moves without the ball. He goes on backdoor cuts. They run sets for him to get it in the low post, for him to get it at the elbow. They do things within the offense where people touch the ball and it's free flowing movement. Luka does not do that. Luka plays high pick and roll, swing kick, and if I'm not touching the ball, I'm in the corner. At 30 feet at the half.
Let me respond. Because first, no, he doesn't. Luka plays out of the post. Was a great post player, and I got to
Luka goes to the post 4 times a game.
And when he played Minnesota and needed to go to the post 10 times to send them home, that's what he did. And he played in the post in the playoffs a lot because he patterns his game after LeBron, who plays heliocentric ball. But even if we don't want to say Shea is heliocentric, we're not going to argue that Jokic is not the most heliocentric basketball player ever because he touches the ball literally every single play, and they cannot play without him. He's literally making the rotations for the subs. But what I wanted to say is what's so frustrating about Luka is, like you mentioned, if we don't perceive he got better, which I still think I think he got better because I see things he does better than he did a couple years ago because he is playing high-level play of basketball with help. When he played with Kyrie, he was far more patient, got people involved. But there's a couple things I wanted to hit. First, what you said was guy 3 through 7 don't want to play with that. First of all, guy 3 through 7 loves playing with niggas like that because PJ Washington don't want to put the ball on the ground and score. Right. Daniel Gafford can't put the ball on the ground and score. When you have someone like Luka, you raise the floor for guy 3 through 7. So what kills me is people kill Luka for not giving niggas other opportunities, but Jason Tatum plays in the flow of the offense. Fam, if Luka was playing with 4 Hall of Famers, the offense wouldn't be all Luka all at once. We used to do this with LeBron. LeBron makes people play a certain way. LeBron played with so many different great players, and some fit, some didn't. For Luka right now, everyone who he's played with has fit. Nobody has not fit with Luka other than Dennis Smith Jr. Jalen Brunson played amazing ball, got a new contract, became a superstar. Kyrie Irving
didn't get the contract when he got signed. He got that contract after he played well with the Knicks. No one.
Yes, he did. No, he didn't. That's not true. That's not true. That's literally not true.
Contract. He got re-signed.
No, he didn't. The Mavs did not re-sign him. He went to the Knicks that year because everyone was mad. The Mavs lowballed him. He literally left the Mavs and went to the Knicks. They didn't trade him. He was a free agent after that amazing playoff run. And then they didn't play amazing in the play. My point is, no one knew Jalen Brunson's potential was what it was when he was in Dallas because Luka would not allow him to get there. That is my point.
How could you? No point guards. You would never have known that. That's like saying
if you create an offense that gets everybody involved and plays to everybody's strengths.
Is Jalen Brunson not a heliocentric player as well?
Yes, which is why he will never win a championship.
But he wasn't going to ever shine with Luka because they're both heliocentric.
But I think you can make heliocentric players play within an offense, and it makes the entire team and them better.
Okay, how do you make them play within an offense? You add players that can add to the offense. Like when we talk about Jokic, Jokic won a championship, right? I saw crazy, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago on the show. Jokic has never beat a 50-win team in the playoffs any point in his career. If he beats the Clippers, I think this may be his first. I don't know how many games the Clippers won. He has never beat a 50-win team in his entire career.
Right.
Luka has never played a team under 50 wins in the playoffs. And he's been to the finals. Like, when we talk about Luka not being able to compete against the best teams, he's already proven he has because he's already competed against the best teams in the conference. Like, the West is a bloodbath, and he was in the finals last year. Like, the Luka thing, like, did he get better?
So if he was still with the Mavericks, would you still have him the best player in the world?
No, I said he wasn't the best player in the world early in the season when I watched Jokic again.
See, the thing for me, this is my, like, the reason my mind is locked is all those niggas you named, none of them except maybe Giannis for the first 46 minutes, I'd rather have than Luka in a must-win playoff game. Because like you mentioned that I'm gonna kill factor, Luka, there's two niggas in NBA history to average 30 in the playoffs. It's Mike and Luka. Bron don't do it, Kobe don't do it, Kareem don't do it.
Shaq don't do it.
Listen, Luka is playoff riser from the jump, and that's what's so frustrating is, like, we give SGA, Anthony Edwards, all these niggas passes, like, yeah, they're so young. Luka's 26. His first playoff series, him and Kawhi and PG was going blow for blow. Luka never needed this is my first young series. From the jump, he has been A-plus performer.
And I feel like that's a detriment towards Luka's reputation.
Because if he would have came out mid and then made that jump like Cade did, we would look at him differently.
I can say the same thing about Tatum.
Shay came in. Shay was drafted the same year as Luka.
Literally.
Yes.
So why are we still talking about Shay like he's this up and coming?
No, see, that's what's so frustrating. They were drafted the same year, but when we do top five, it's like Luka can't win. I'm gonna have Shay up here because I think he can win. Luka's already won more than Shay. Like, we have seen for a fact that Luka can win in the playoffs as much, if not more, than Shay. Not even to mention Luka, like we mentioned, Luka's style of play is playoff proof. Shay, we haven't seen that because Shay needs to get to line to play the way he does. We've seen niggas cut that lights off.
He hasn't been as efficient in the playoffs.
Oh, he hasn't because the game is different. Like, for you to say,
no one is more efficient in the playoffs than they are as a regular season.
Luka is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Luka literally is more efficient in the playoffs than he is in the regular season. Okay. But what's so frustrating is we went from last NBA Finals, I think Luka is the best player in the world. Nothing that has happened between now and last NBA Finals has mattered in the NBA. All of it's been regular season.
I keep telling you, I don't think the regular season doesn't matter, for one. Two, I think the regular season is very important, and it's the reason that we have these conversations. The regular season is important because it is the difference between Memphis maybe getting to the second round and Memphis going home. Like, the regular season is important, and we're going to stop.
Unless you're the Mavs and you get to the finals as a fifth seed.
But
I just be kind of confused because I feel like I dead ass feel like you blaming Luka for being on a poorly constructed Lakers team. Like, if Luka was in OKC right now, they still be the number one.
Yeah,
team.
like I don't like when players get saddled with like how nigga, and I'm gonna do this to you because niggas be like, nobody wants to play with Trae Young because Trae Young can pass the ball.
Well, different.
Hold on.
Like, the best Trae Young second option was who? John Collins?
Hold on.
Who, like, keep it a rack. Who's been, say, Trae Young second best player? Jalen Johnson?
Jalen Johnson.
And Jalen Johnson been eating. But my thing is, like, does Tatum get his shit within the flow of the offense? Yes. There's also 3 to 4 Hall of Famers on the court with him.
Right.
It's not like Tatum's like, I'm going to let y'all get y'all.
I would say 3 to 4 Hall of Famers.
Oh.
Al Horford, Drew Holiday.
Al Horford is not a Hall of Famer.
Al Horford won 2 championships in Florida. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer to basketball.
Al Horford is not a NBA. It's not a NBA.
It's not a guy. The NBA Hall of Fame.
No such thing as NBA Hall of Fame.
There's not. You know what I'm saying, though. You know Al Horford isn't a guy.
No. But if we take college out, Al Horford would have a strong Hall of Fame resume just from being one of the best Hawks players ever, All-Star, winning a championship late. Al Horford resume is crazy.
Nah.
No, it's not.
Fam, Al Horford resume is crazy.
It's outside. It's cool. It's a couple All-Star appearances. A number 1 seed. No, he wasn't even on that number 1 seed team, was he?
Yes, he was. Niggas thought he was the best player on the team.
It was Jeff Teague. It was Jeff Teague.
It was Paul Millsap.
It was Jeff Teague.
Y'all, listen, niggas are still disagreeing who the best player. I know niggas who think Kyle Korver was the best player.
It was Paul Millsap. It was Paul Millsap.
It was Kyle Korver. It was Kyle Korver.
Kyle Korver was the most important. Paul Millsap was the best player on that team.
Yes, Paul Millsap was the best player. When they needed a bucket, they went to Paul. But okay, so here's my thing. Here's my thing.
Also
y'all keep talking about what Luka has done, and this is my closing statement because never mind. I gotta stop doing that. I'll tell you after what I was about to say. But I am not talking about anything Luka has done before last year. Everything I'm speaking on is within this past 2 years and what I think for the future. So I really don't care what Luka has done in the playoffs in 2019 and 2020 and 20. I don't care. The reason I'm comparing him Shea to now is because Shea hit his prime. Yeah, Luka hit his prime before. Luka was better early in the career. Now Shea has grown, and I'm seeing something from Shea I didn't know was there, so he's getting compared to Luka now. Yes, that is the fact, because all of this is 2 years ago and in the future. So if I'm looking at that, I have not seen
5 years though.
I have, huh?
You've been saying this from Luka for 5 years. You're just bored.
And this is my point.
Bored.
No, I'm not. This is my point.
Come on.
This has been my point.
Yeah.
I don't think Luka Doncic has gotten better and more impactful as a basketball player in the past 2 years. As I watch Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, Shea, and Jokic, and Giannis.
Yeah, he sent 2 of them niggas home.
I think they are going to be and have been this year more impactful to winning to their teams. And Anthony Edwards is beating him in a playoff series right now. The OKC just won a playoff series by one of the largest margins in history and had one of the best regular seasons ever, and he just won MVP. Okay. Jason Tatum has been 28-8-8 and is a playoff riser himself as well.
He's not a playoff riser.
Has seen every great nigga. Has seen every nigga. He's not a finals riser. He's a playoff riser.
Finals is the playoffs.
He has not seen a great. He sent Giannis home. He sent Jalen Brunson home. Every great nigga that's come through the East, Jason Tatum has sent him home. So, yes, I think Luka is amazing. No, I don't think you niggas are crazy for having this conversation or thinking Luka is better than these niggas. But from what I am looking at, it is more likely for me that Anthony Edwards, Shea, and Tatum and Jokic win championships before Luka does because of the style of play and because I haven't seen really any growth from him. If anything, Luka is more out of shape. Luka plays worse defense, and Luka takes worse shots than he did a couple years ago.
This is what I really think it is. I believe this last year, and him not winning MVP last season cemented this to me. But it's what Stunna said is Luka is graded on a curve differently than any other superstar in the league. Like, we talk about Minnesota, one of the main things we say is, man, Minnesota needs a point guard. Luka is a point guard and Anthony Edwards. That is the difference between Luka and Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, as a shooting guard, as a talent, one of the most talented players in the NBA, he does not have the decision-making capabilities to win a championship, and he has admitted that several times. Even in this series against one of the worst defensive teams in the league, he still does not know what he's looking at. Luka, as a decision-maker, separates himself from Ant so far. They do not need to be compared unless Ant wins a championship.
And you're feeding it to my point, because my point is I have watched Ant become a better decision maker year after year after year. And we're already having conversations about Anthony Edwards being better than Luka Doncic. I haven't seen Luka Doncic really do anything to his game to improve. See, I have seen that from Anthony Edwards. No. So as you say, Luka is Anthony Edwards. Luka is Anthony Edwards and Luka Doncic put together. I'm saying Anthony Edwards is Anthony Edwards by himself with the lack of decision-making, but because he's so good as an offensive player and the defensive player he is, he's still better than Luka, and he has room to get better where I don't think Luka gets any better. That's been my point, is I'm looking at the future. I'm not just talking about the past 2 years. Like, yes, Luka has been better than Anthony Edwards and all of them niggas up until this point, but from this point, the last 2 months and going forward, I would take those 5 guys before I took Luka.
My question to you is... That's my thing. No, it's not. Because I got a question. You got to have to answer it. My question to you is, let's look at this like ratings. You said, you know what I'm saying, getting better. Because progression isn't linear, you know. Players improve. But Luka, if we were going to look at this like 2K ratings, in our ratings, Luka been, a 97 overall since his, second year in the league?
Yeah.
5-time first-team All-NBA.
It's not a lot of room just to get better. I'm not saying he's the perfect basketball player. Of course, there's things he can get better at.
Bro,
but it's hard to get better when you're the best.
And Luka is nitpicked and Luka scored 70 and niggas was like, man, the NBA is so bad.
I did not do that.
No, but that's the thing. Not just you. The way Luka is talked about in the media versus what happens on the court is such a disconnect. Because like you said, Anthony Edwards had, I think, 8 games of 8 assists or more this regular season. He's had 2 this series. Right. And people were like, wow, that's growth. That would not be growth for Luka because he's already done that. Luka, like you said, he was, let's say, 39-9. Does he have to be 40-10-10 until we stop comparing him with niggas who have done nothing to catch him yet? Like you said, the last 2 months was fucking March and April. No banner has been hung the last 2 months. Nothing has happened the last 2 months. James Harden was just a top 10 player for the last 2 months of the year. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like Shea, like right now, they're the number 1 seed. He's gonna win MVP. Fam, if this Shea shit goes sideways and they don't keep rising, and the peak of Shea is great regular season, won a couple MVPs, nobody's gonna care. Like, if Shea hits 30 for the rest of his career and stays at 38, whatever he is now, I'm not gonna be disappointed that he is always 38-8. And the last thing I have is, you said Luka's hit his prime. He is not. He's 26. He has not hit his prime. There's nothing that shows he has hit his prime. He just had a head start of what niggas think primes are. Like, we thought Bron hit his prime in 08 when he won that first MVP. And you know what everyone said? You're not going to win a championship like that. You need help. You can't win unless you're going to hit jump shots. All that in the third. Giannis won his MVP. Everyone in their mama said, you're not going to win like that. You got to be able to shoot jumpers. Look at the Miami Heat. They built the wall around you, and he won. Look at Jokic. Jokic won his MVP. Niggas said he shouldn't have won MVP. You can't play like that. You're going to lose. Steph Curry won his MVP. They said jump shooting teams do not win championships, and he's the best point guard ever. Like, what I want us to do is,
I don't want those 4 you named were wrong. Who? They did not say that about LeBron. They never said LeBron was
They did say that about LeBron.
They never said LeBron was never going to win a championship.
Yes, they did.
They said LeBron wasn't going to win a championship if he didn't shoot a jump shot, which is true. LeBron did not win a championship until he got a jump shot.
Not true.
That LeBron
That's
lost.
not true.
Listen, LeBron lost.
When they won in 2012, that's when LeBron shot his least amount of jumpers, actually.
And he shot his highest percentage in
He was still a great jump. He was still a good jump shooter. That wasn't, no, for sure. But he could shoot jumpers, and that did play into the effect.
Shoot jumpers, though.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
No, him and D Wade had a rule that they would not shoot jumpers.
They were not shooting jumpers.
They literally had a rule.
Dallas. The next year, that was the year I think he shot like 60% from the field because he was not doing nothing but going to the
D Wade and LeBron, after that first Mavs finals, made a rule that they would never settle again. But aside from just LeBron jumper thing, LeBron lost 3 straight playoff series as a favorite in the East. And after that, every nigga and their mama said LeBron would never win a championship.
I want to stop comparing Luka to LeBron. He's not LeBron.
Why not?
No, you don't.
Why not?
No, you don't.
Why not?
Why not? Who else do we look at and say, your prime started so early that we don't even know when your prime started?
Literally.
You started being great so early.
Tatum.
Kobe started on
Tatum. You can't say Tatum.
Tatum don't even get the respect that he deserved because he started being great so early.
I just said that.
But you can't put Tatum on a pedestal for it and lower Luka.
See, no, but that's what niggas do. Niggas be like, Tatum been in 8 conference finals. Even though he was in conference finals as a young nigga, they had a great team.
Exactly.
It wasn't like Tatum conference finals where he lost to LeBron. It wasn't like Melo conference finals where he was 30 a night, but we both give him them grace.
Right.
We don't give Luka no grace. We act like Luka's in his
How am I
year.
not giving Luka grace because I'm
putting niggas above him?
No, you're saying he didn't get better. It's like, he first of all, his numbers keep getting better. His numbers keep getting better.
His numbers were worse this year than last year.
He was hurt half.
He was hurt. No. That's what I'm saying. I'm not taking these 2 months. I'm saying year by year, his numbers keep getting better. And every year he adds something to his game because he was an elite post player coming out of Slovenia.
Wasn't he like 33, 9, and 8 last year?
34, 9, and 9.
How much better do you expect him to get?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be 35.
My nigga,
I'm saying this and I'm closing. I'm not saying Luka isn't amazing. I'm not saying Luka will never win a championship.
Right.
I'm not saying Luka isn't isn't what y'all are saying he is. I am saying from what I am watching, the past calendar year, Luka has not grown his game in the way I think he needs to grow his game to win a championship. Luka needs to be a better defender. Luka needs to be a more willing defender. Luka needs to be able to play within an offense, and when he doesn't have the ball in his hand, be able to affect the floor in some other way. That is all I am saying. All of those guys do that, or I see will have the potential to do that. So that is why I am saying I like those guys right now more than I like Luka. Could I be proven wrong and they build a perfect team around Luka in the next 2 years and he starts to play within the offense and I get proven wrong that Luka's work ethic is something that is not? Of course I can. And I will be happy to come in here and admit I'm wrong. But right now, I can absolutely say from what I have seen seen the past calendar year that I like those guys more. And for y'all to keep talking about nothing's been hung, nothing's been happened, there's been no banners raised. Luka hasn't won shit. Tatum and Jokic are the only two niggas in this conversation with the finals, and y'all laugh Tatum out the conversation when he can do everything Luka can do. He's just not as a great of passer. He's not as a great of passer, but he's still a very good passer. He is an elite scorer. He's an elite rebounder. That's one of his best attributes is his rebounding ability, and he is a world-class perimeter defender, and he can guard bigs to a certain proportion.
He gets the luxury of being the fourth best defender on his team, though.
I don't think Jason Tatum is a fourth.
He's not a top 2 defender on the team. I'll tell you that.
Who's number 1 and 2?
Drew White and Derek.
He's a better defender than Drew. What's his name?
Don't say Derek White.
He's a better defender than Derek White.
He's a better defender than Derek White.
Yes.
That is the problem niggas have with Tatum.
Yes.
It's like, okay, before I don't even want to get on Tatum because listen,
and Derek, my boy, I fuck with Tatum.
He can't be a better defender than Derek White.
Why is an all NBA defender? Derek White's an all NBA level defender.
So is Jason Tatum.
Has he been there yet?
Has he ever been all NBA defense?
I'll check, but he
he hasn't. Okay.
I'm sure Jaylen Brown has more votes for him.
No, listen.
Votes for it.
Even if we were to give the Derek White, listen, that's crazy. But I want to ask to kind of just put a pin on it. What specifically? I don't mean like want to because the Luka defender, like everyone killed Luka. Oh yeah, he couldn't guard Jason Tatum, but somehow they got through the unguardable SGA. They got through the unguardable minute. Like how niggas act like that Celtics Mavs series was the only playoff series that year.
Facts.
That everyone puts Luka in a box. It's like every time I see what I don't like about Luka, that's all he does.
Right.
Like they won 3 playoff series to get there through all-time great scores. Like if Luka was a black hole on defense, you don't get through OKC. You don't get through Minnesota. But I want to say specifically, what does Luka need to start doing to show improvement? Because we've already covered the numbers really just can't get better. Right. Even all-time great niggas, even they average out at about 38, 10. You don't see niggas averaging 40, 10 to 10. So, what on court can Luka do that's going to show growth for you?
I just said, this is the last thing I'm saying, dead serious. I'm exhausted. But I keep saying, defensively, he has to get better, and the way he plays offense has to get better. My thing with Luka isn't a numbers thing, and I said that from the beginning. I'm not talking about the numbers. I'm not talking about the offensive impact. I am talking about him being a willing defender, him not just being a cone on defense. That matters tremendously because it puts your defense in early rotations and makes it so much harder for your defense to get stops. It makes them harder to close the possessions with defensive rebounds, and it makes it easier on the offense. So he has to get better at that. That is negatively impacting his team. On the offensive end, he needs to get more involved in the offense when he does not have the ball. He needs to be able to play within sets. He needs to be able to play without the ball in his hand. Does he have to do it all the time? Absolutely not. Does he have to do it in every game? Absolutely not. But those are the little steps that would have took that Celtics series from a 5-game series to a 7-game series. And when we're talking about great players like this, we are splitting hairs. So you're acting like I'm saying Anthony Edwards is on a different level. I'm saying Luka is a 97.2 and Ant is a 97.4. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. That's what you're saying. I don't think Ant is there just yet. But of course, this is the last thing we have. We can go on for 3 hours. But yes or no, did he not do that last year to get to the finals?
What?
Play defense and play within the system.
They had to get
through the hell of a Western Conference. Did he do that last year?
Why do y'all keep acting like I'm saying Luka is bad at basketball?
I'm just saying the things you said he need to improve on. Did he do that last year to get to the finals?
Because I watched the Mavericks build an elite defense around him.
Did he do that last year?
He did not play elite defense.
The Mavericks did.
They had a great defense around him. They built good personnel around him.
No, I know they did. But I'm just saying, playing off ball like those things.
The thing about that is I think they played 3 straight teams they were better than. And then when they got to the team that was on their level or a little bit better, they got ran off the court because of these deficiencies. That is what I'm saying. I don't think that Western Conference run last year was all that amazing. Y'all keep acting like that shit was fucking Dirk and 2011.
He was whooping on niggas you just said was better than him.
Literally, he sent them niggas home. The same niggas you just...
and last year, at that time, they weren't better than him. And now, a year later, I think they're better than him. Why is that crazy?
What has Shea got so much better at this year?
I'm done.
You know what I'm saying?
All
between this year and last year.
All right. Last thing for the day. Tyrese Halliburton beat the Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks.
Let's talk about it.
I don't have much to say because we just debated for 30 minutes about one player. I was going to ask how we felt about Greek getting bounced out the first round 3 years in a row. And
I'm glad you hit this because we were early on this. This is going to be clipped for a couple of months. But Giannis will be a New York Knicks player next year. We were the first person to say that.
I think he's going to be a Memphis Grizzly.
You crazy as fuck.
I think he's going to Memphis.
Giannis has been like very adamant about playing in the big city. No disrespect, Memphis.
I think he's going to Memphis.
You think first of all, you think Adam Silver letting him go to the West?
Yes.
There's no way he lets him go to the West.
There's no way he lets him go.
What
do you give up for him?
Triple J and Bay.
Fuck no.
Triple J. What is New York giving up for him?
Cat and one of them other niggas.
Cat, OG, Mikal, Josh Hart.
I think Mikal's the only one you can't trade. Listen.
Mitchell Robinson.
Listen. Give me.
You can absolutely trade Mikal. You just can't trade Mikal and OG. You got to keep one.
Cat, Josh Hart, one of them random niggas for Giannis.
And 17 picks. You can have every draft pick to 2045.
I don't think Josh Hart holds that type of value. I don't think holds more value.
But the thing is, does Desmond Bane?
I think he holds a lot more value.
On a max? Because that's the difference.
Yes.
JJJ and Desmond Bane are getting big money.
Yes.
Yeah, that's too much for the Bucks. They have
they gotta pay somebody.
They're paying Dame and Kyle Kuzma.
They're gonna trade. They're gonna trade Dame as well.
He's hurt. He's popped his Achilles.
No one's gonna take Dame.
Somebody gonna trade for him. Maybe not this offseason, but next offseason.
Yeah, he's gone this offseason. He's gone this offseason.
They're in reset mode.
Dame might retire.
What if over? So what if Giannis goes to the Nuggets?
I don't think they can.
Okay, that's not.
Why not?
A realistic team, I think, for him is the Rockets, the Knicks, and those are really the only two teams. I think it's the Rockets and Knicks. I'm leaning more towards the Knicks because I think they're going to keep him in the East. I don't think they let him get out West. And a sleeper team I have is the Hawks.
No.
Atlanta's a big city.
We don't have it then.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Hawks don't even have their first round pick. I'm glad you're here. Let me get that off you while you're here.
Yeah.
Spurs going to be using that in the lottery.
Congratulations.
All
right. I think teams to watch out for certain players. KD to the Spurs.
I don't want that.
Devin Booker to the Rockets.
That would be nasty.
And Giannis to the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies for real?
I think they can do that.
Giannis and Ja?
Bro, you can't have all the best players in the league in the West.
Yeah,
bro.
you got
can't.
You got Kate Cunningham coming up. Don't worry about it.
I like him in Detroit.
He'll say the East.
I like him in Detroit.
I love Kate, bro. I think Kate is another person creeping up on Luka too shit.
I want to throw in here. Listen, we didn't mention them, but like if the Cavs get bounced next round, they just might say fucking and trade 3 niggas for him too.
Which 3?
Shit, everybody but Mitchell.
They're not trading Evan Mobley.
Shit, then Jared Allen, Darius Garland, it's been nice.
If they get to the finals, that you can't do that. If they don't get to the finals, it's a consideration.
Shit, Kate, listen.
After Luka got traded, nobody's safe.
Listen. Jokic.
Trae Young for John Morant this offseason. Make it happen.
Well, no. The thing is, you should talk to your people. It should have been Cat for Trae Young. Y'all missed the time.
No.
Y'all missed the time.
He's off.
Trae Young, Tyrese Halliburton. How are you feeling a year later?
Oh, come on. Hey.
So I do have something to give you. You're going to leave here with something. I don't think Tyrese Halliburton is a better basketball player than Trae Young.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But as I was just saying about Luka, I think Trae Young has a similar effect where his deficiencies negatively impact his team so much that Tyrese Halliburton is a better person to build around than Trae Young. Like, Trae Young, Tyrese will never have the numbers Trae Young has, never have the production. He's not the scorer he is. They're about even passers. But Tyrese Halliburton, the way he plays point guard, makes a team want to play. It makes a team want to defend. It is galvanizing. It's almost how the Warriors offense works, how everybody touches the ball, so everybody's ready to defend. Everybody can always shoot. Tyrese Halliburton plays that Lonzo Ball style where we're going to get the ball up the court. We're going to start the offense with 22 seconds. Yeah. I'm not going to hold the ball too much. I'm going to see it. I'm going to make the right pass, and I'm not going to shoot too much. So I don't think he's a better basketball player than Trae Young, but I do think he's a better point guard and someone I would build around before I build around Trae, because the problem I have with Trae is I think Trae wants to win, but I think Trae only wants to win if he's the best player on the team. And I know for a fact
Why do you think that?
That's never going to happen.
Why do you think that?
Just watch him play.
Just watch him play, bro. Like, just watch him play. Watch how he act. Watch his body language.
I agree with...
And what you're about to say is he's in Atlanta and he is the best player and this franchise sucks, so he is going to carry himself like that. And I'm like, yes, that's true. But that's how you've been carrying yourself, so that's how I'm gonna receive it.
The reason I asked is because you saying that I feel like tracks with, especially coming off the Luka conversation we have, that tracks with you. You, Stunna, I don't understand how you can say that coming off the Luka conversation because I feel like it's the same thing with Trey Halliburton as Luka and Tatum. We just we looked at the team like we say. I feel like Trey is one of those players where it's like people believe like you mentioned like how he plays or like the style he plays. Like he don't play defense. Like the negative things about Trey. Like yeah, the ball's always in Trey's hands because the second best player on the Hawks, first of all, has never been a ball handler, ever. Yeah. And then when they did have someone, DeJounte Murray is a terrible point guard ball handler for your starting team. I feel like, shout out to is Halliburton long-term a better player than Trey?
Yes.
Maybe if he can learn to be your top scorer, but I feel like if Trey's responsibilities what Halliburton's were, I feel like he would look a lot better in his role because I feel like Trey's a far better passer than he is a pure scorer. Because I feel like he's an inefficient scorer. But if he was on a team like Halliburton, or if he was in, this Eastern Conference with a team around him, it's like, yeah, we don't need you to be 28 a night, Halliburton. You just need to get everybody else involved.
But he was 24-12 last year before they traded for Pascal.
Yeah, that month. Yeah, I remember.
No, it was 2.
Okay, yeah,
it was 2.
Listen, y'all niggas are big on them 2 month frames.
2 months.
Like, y'all niggas love 60 days.
All I'm saying is he you know what I'm saying? He did it. We seen him do it, and they literally nerfed his scoring by getting Pascal, but it took them about a year to figure it out.
See, that's the thing. I don't think they nerfed his scoring because I feel like Trey Halliburton's ceiling is far lower than Trey's ceiling as your best player. I feel like so. Halliburton's ceiling is we can get to the second round. We may listen. It's the East. It's the East. We may sneak into the conference finals. AC was there when we listen. We may sneak there, but like no team with a superstar is worried about the Pacers.
What's Trey's? What's the ceiling of any player that's 5'10" being your best player?
Trey and Halliburton have made it to the same length in the
exactly. So I'm saying you said that you think the ceiling is lower with Halliburton. So what's Trey's ceiling?
I think Trey, especially that year, they could have easily made the finals if he doesn't get hurt.
But Giannis got hurt too. So
that's true.
Does Giannis get hurt in this situation?
Versus the Bucks?
Yeah.
I mean versus the Hawks?
When we played them, because you can't say Trey is healthy and Giannis isn't.
Because that's what happened. We're not guessing. I'm just saying. We saw where Trey left. Trey left the Eastern Conference Finals. That's where he left, right? Like that's still Halliburton's ceiling. And like on Trey getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, that was not a good basketball team. His second best player was John Collins. That's what I said. If he played with
basketball, that run is overrated.
John Collins was trash.
That run is so overrated to me.
Why?
The Knicks sucked. The Knicks were ass that year.
I mean, like
their starting point guard was Elfrid Payton. What are we?
I mean, like the Bucks.
And their backup point guard was Frank Ntilikina.
Like the Bucks were good this year too. Like I mean, he did beat Joel Embiid. Like he did go through someone who won the MVP.
I actually watched that series though.
I did too. And Joel Embiid played terrible.
Joel Embiid played great for the first 3 quarters every single game. They were up by
every single game.
And the part people ain't gonna tell you is Trae Young played shitty in that game 7. If it wasn't
Ben Simmons locked him up.
Kevin Huerter won that game
1,000%. But
my whole thing is with Trae Young, I have to watch it 82 games. I'm just tired of watching it at this point. Like he gonna get his numbers. He cool. I'm saying, he's not bad at basketball, but you know how you said you're not gonna say Luka will never win a championship. I can 100% say Trae Young will never win a championship as the best player on the basketball.
I 100% agree.
See,
with that.
but that's my. Do you think
I will guarantee that?
What is the gap between him and Darius Garland to you?
First of all, I don't think no small guard can win the championship. Unless it's Steph.
But what my thing is, I agree with you. First of all, no small guard is going to ever compete at Steph level unless they can play off ball the way Steph do. But that's why I grade them all on second best player at best.
Right.
Like, I don't think Jalen Brunson will ever win a championship as the best player. I'm still grading him on a second best player scale. If Trae Young was a second best player, I think they would have a higher ceiling than other teams if you had Halliburton as your second best player, because Trae Young creates so much passive offense for everybody.
But I agree with
that. To that point, how do you gauge Trae Young as the second best player when you've only seen him in the heliocentric offense, though? Like with Luka, we can't say, Luka has to be the second best player. We believe that Luka can be the best player on the championship team.
Yeah, no.
How do you gauge that with Trae Young if you've never seen him? You've never seen the ball not be in his hands.
Because all amazing second best options started off as a heliocentric player.
But who is the player that you would pair him with where you can say
If you like, the reason I chose Darius Garland because I feel like if Trae Young was on the Cavs, people wouldn't think, oh yeah, you can't win because of Trae Young.
Of course not.
Because I feel like
that would be the perfect roster constructed around him, though.
Exactly, but that's the thing with the Hawks. Like, it feels like Trae Young can't win a championship or could never win a championship because we've never seen them even get close to a good roster around him.
Right.
It looks like no matter who you put around him, they're going to lose because all they put around him is losers. Like, if they were hitting on draft picks, I feel like Trae Young, how long has Trae Young been there?
This was year 7?
Year 7. The best draft pick they brought next to Trae Young was drafted this year.
That's not true. Who? They drafted Jalen Johnson.
I think Zach had a really good end of the year, but Jalen Johnson, that's cool. But, I mean, we've never seen a good Trae Young roster. That's why I kind of give him grace in that. Did he get hurt?
I think so.
Boy, I
think they challenged a foul. Yeah, they called a foul.
Yeah.
So... Great pot. We're 240 in. We can stop.
Yeah.
We're 240 in. Great shit, everybody.
Wear the shirts. Wear the shirts.
Yeah, I've been having a great time. Shout out to the Pacers fans. The Warriors fans put them on. The Rockets fan put them on earlier. Shout out to the teams wearing the shirts. That shit has been amazing. These playoffs have been amazing.
How come Halliburton dad could be an asshole, but Trae Young dad can't tweet? All right, my fault. Keep going.
Yeah. Everybody condemned. That was weird, bro. Yeah. That was weird. I don't know what the
Giannis, listen, Giannis a funny nigga, bro. You can tell Giannis' whole life is basketball because outside of basketball, it take him a long time to figure out social situations. Like he did that winner chicken dinner shit that pissed Bam off at the All-Star game. Y'all remember that? Like, you could tell he was really looking at this nigga Halliburton dad like if I really steal off on this nigga, like what really happened? Yeah,
really but he would have did that nigga like Hope did Loki shot.
Could you imagine fighting Giannis? God,
no.
Okay, this is really how I want to clear it up because I've always
should have had the 100 man versus the gorilla.
That's what we gonna talk about right now. 100 men gorillas, quick hitters. What do you think?
I think we can win.
Absolutely not.
I think we can win.
I think we could do it.
This is the biggest question.
It's all about strategy.
Does the gorilla know it's being attacked?
Hell no.
If we're sneaking up on the gorilla, sure.
Yeah.
If the gorilla is in attack mode and ready for us, absolutely.
It's 100 people, bro.
It's 100 niggas,
bro. Do y'all know how strong a gorilla is?
Do you know how many people 100 people?
How are you going to hurt the gorilla?
Somebody gonna be able to get a chokehold in.
They're not. That's what I'm trying to.
Bro, eventually somebody's gonna break one of them limbs, bro.
No, they're not. A gorilla can pick up a car. They're not.
And 4 people fit in one car. He gonna pick up 25 cars?
That's my thesis, man.
Niggas is like, bro, how are you gonna pierce a gorilla skin? If I'm number 35, he's broken a couple of y'all niggas' arms. Use the bone, like get in there, use the bone. Like
you can't use no weapons. You got fisticuffs and kicks.
I wonder, like
he gonna get tired, bro.
What's the endurance of a gorilla for 100 niggas? Like, we said waves of 15 to 20 niggas at a time.
I don't think y'all realize how quickly niggas would die.
Who are you picking, though? No, them first 30 niggas.
Yeah. Y'all in my, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know, you know what I'm saying? I'm a forward thinker.
Yeah.
60 niggas will have to be prepared to never see their family.
Listen, them first 30, 40 niggas.
That is okay. You know what I'm saying?
The first nigga, who we sending first? That's all I want to know. Who we sending in first?
Crackheads.
Lawrence Taylor.
No, bro.
You do got to send some people in off some drugs.
Let me tell you who you sending first.
Fit and coke. Fit crack coke.
Let me tell you who you sending in first.
FCC, baby.
Fit crack coke. You know when you be on YouTube at 2 a.m., you're not supposed to be on YouTube? It's them niggas walking around, them white niggas walking around the jungle, doing what they not. You sending them first 10 niggas in first. Niggas not scared of nothing for real. Them first 10 niggas who don't know nothing but crazy. Niggas like, oh yeah, that's a shark. Oh yeah, let's go chase it down. Like niggas who not scared of nature. Like
Bear Grylls.
Yeah, bro. You sending them first 10 rednecks, nigga? Like, bro,
it's no way we beating the right now. There's no way we beating the gorilla. It's no way.
I think
it's
we beat the gorilla.
100 niggas, bro.
I don't think y'all realize how quickly 10 niggas can die.
I'll end this right here. Listen,
I don't think y'all realize
if a gorilla watch this, I smack the shit out you, nigga.
Straight
do something about it.
I think we gotta realize how many niggas say 100 names right now of niggas that you know.
I don't know if I know 100 niggas, bro.
I don't know if I know 100.
I don't know if I know 100 niggas, bro.
Luka just cut.
Hey.
Listen. Okay, all right. Just for the end. Our 1,700 subscribers. or a gorilla, nigga.
The 1700s is garbage.
Yeah,
for sure.
nigga, all 1,700 of the
Stunna,
tweets.
you said you had an inappropriate question at the beginning. Do you remember what it was?
Do I? Oh, yeah. It was just going to be, would you still vote for Kanye West as president?
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, bet.
No, I would. Man, I wish that nigga would get some help. But on that same idea of crazy niggas running for president, is Aaron Rodgers still one of the most talented quarterbacks ever?
Yes.
Okay.
You can't deny the talent. The results are the results, you know.
Shit.
That's a crap.
Yeah,
I hope it's a cramp.
Yeah, you see how the way it extended? Yeah, that shit locked up on his stupid ass.
Yeah.
Man, I had a cramp yesterday coming back from the Kendrick show. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let's wrap it up.
Episode 116, the show about nothing. Like, subscribe, comment, rock, Stunna, and the world full of hate. Let your light be love in the industry full of copycats. We some one of ones. Pose for the thumbnail.